Okay. Thank you, Lauren. Okay, she's on her way back. So I'll go ahead and start the introduction. Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming today to Fractured Space. Today, you will be witnessing 3 hapless adventurers in the far future dealing with a scenario far beyond their control and certainly beyond their capacity. We will see how many of them survive to the end of the night and how much damage they manage to do along the way. So tonight will be a science fiction story that takes place on a space station. But I can't give you more details than that because the details, dear viewers, are up to you. We will have a link in the chat for the stream. If you go to the chat on the side and scroll up, there is a link that says menti.com voting. And so if you click on that, that will open the presentation where you will be able to vote on what's happening in the story. Based on your votes, I will change the story and what's happening around the players, and we will all enjoy watching them struggle to overcome whatever you choose to inflict on them. Some choices will make things easier, some choices will make things harder, but all of the choices will probably lead to their untimely demise. So, it should be a good time. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to introduce you to your players, and then we will do the first choice. So if you look in Discord, you can see that there is a video stream. I would recommend hiding the non-video members using the options at the top of Discord so that you can just see that stream. That's where I will have all of our players shown so that you can see their terror in full color video.
Is it Technicolor?
Yes, there is a little bit of an 80s slant to today. All right, so let's meet our players. Here they are. So we have myself, David, as the DM. I will be running the station and anything on the station, particularly those parts that the players wish weren't there. We also have on the top right, Ben. Say hi, Ben.
Hi.
Ben will be playing Wayne Frakes in today's game, a muscled, durable individual. However, more specifics will have to wait until you've voted what kind of characters they're going to get to play. So we'll come back to that. Lauren, our event sponsor, who has made all of this possible, has subjected herself to these terrors today on your behalf.
Yeah.
So if you enjoy watching the people in charge be brought low, you can vote for things that are going to make her life difficult.
I'm willing to go down with a sip if it means she's on it.
Any subconscious prejudice is now very conscious.
Lauren will be playing Julia Steiner, a somewhat nervous but intelligent crew member. Is the common theme for her characters. And then on the bottom right, we have Sean, who will be playing Zachary Bloomstrand. Say hi, Sean.
Oh, I look forward to dying for your entertainment.
Sean's character is going to be the one who is clever with his wits and his fingers today. So we will see how that goes. So please make sure if you want to vote that you are in the voting link. And we will go ahead and do our first vote of the night. Go ahead and move. So our first question is going to be, who are the players going to play as? We have 4 groups, and this question I will say so that the players can hear, but all the rest of the questions I'll just put up on the screen because we don't want the players to know what you're choosing. That's the fun part. So We have 4 options. We have a set of scavengers. Perhaps the players are a group of scavengers that work outside the law that stumble across the abandoned station, and they are looking to make a quick buck and end up getting in over their head. Our second option is space haulers. Maybe they're just an innocent merchant crew that stumbled upon a bad situation responding to a distress call and then found out that it was far more than they had bargained for. Our third option is a strike team. Maybe when the station went black, the local enforcement realized that they needed to send someone to investigate, and they are part of that group that has headed out to the station to see what went wrong. Strike team is the most friendly option for the party because they will actually have training and weapons, which is not necessarily the case for the other groups. The last option is survivors. Maybe they were on the station when whatever happened, leaving them with more knowledge about the situation, but perhaps less prepared because they were at home in their pajamas or some other situation when things took place. So go ahead and make your vote, rank them in the order of your preference, and then based on that, we will go with the option that you have selected. All right. Well, it doesn't look like things are moving. So I think they may have settled. Oh, no, little movement. Okay. Is anyone, before we move on, does anyone need assistance getting into the voting? Okay. Well, then we're going to go with that. Players, it looks like we have a tie.
Oh.
Oh no.
So in the event of a tie, neither of them are the one you want. Just by
Yeah.
Thanks.
So in the event of a tie, I'm going to go ahead and make a decision. Unless Grace, if you haven't voted, you could vote.
Just
And be responsible
Toss.
for
I get
the
the
fate.
power. I get the power.
Yes.
Let's go with the scavengers because it's orange and it's my favorite color. Because why not?
Good choice. It is October. All right, we're going to go with scavengers. So players, go ahead and grab your scavenger character sheets.
all right.
And then tell us a little bit about yourselves. And we'll see who we're going to be watching go through things tonight.
What was the second, like the other choice?
The second choice was the survivors who have been on the station.
Nice.
All right. So we'll go ahead, go back to camera. Ben, why don't you tell us a little bit about your scavenger?
So Wayne Frakes is a scavenger. Is pretty sharp. Got good reflexes. Deals with pain very well, and when a conflict arises, has a difficult time resisting the the temptation to not back down from dangerous things. So just really
Great.
really sees things through.
That's one way to put it.
And is otherwise very strong, and fits that pretty well. Puts his dukes up, challenges people to brawls, all that jazz.
Right. And also, just to mention, the players can't see Discord, so you're welcome to discuss anything you want, as long as it's not voice on chat, because they can't see the questions, they can't see your chat. We wanted to make sure that you could discuss their fates freely as things happen. Thank you, Ben. We're excited to see what Wayne gets us into today.
The peanut gallery. Let it begin.
Yes.
I will say, Lauren, they might be gunning for you just a tad.
Sorry, Lauren, but I'm out to get you.
Speaking of, Lauren, why don't you introduce us to Julia Steiner? What does she do aboard the scavenger ship?
poor doomed Julia Steiner. She is kind of just like the scroungy tech lady. She has some stealth, scienciness. She's got like a little repeater screen that she can sync with other equipment. She's also apparently carrying 130 pounds of tech, and she weighs 104 pounds.
No, that's because I have all 4 characters on the same sheet. So
Oh,
disregard
okay.
your encumbrance and just
Okay.
assume that you were all at light
It's just like me.
encumbrance.
Okay.
Yes. No.
Okay. That makes more sense. And then she has spidey sense. She has danger sense. So
that will be
basically
useful.
anywhere around was it Wayne? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll just be on all the time.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Lauren. It's good to meet Julia Steiner. Sean, tell us about Zachary Bloomstrand.
Well, Zachary will be your hacker and gadgeteer for this mission, hoping to make it so we're less detected on this ship that we're scavenging from. I've got bad sight, but I've got glasses for it, so as long as I don't lose my glasses, we're good. I'm more about the job. I'm not really like the curious sort, so and then I also have like a ESM detector, to help us find those electric signals and such like that. So
So Velma.
hacker Velma.
Jeez.
Velma with
Zoinks my name.
sunglasses. Excellent. All right. Well, the 3 of you are all members of the crew of the rogue outlaw ship Eventide. You're not pirates, but that's only because being a pirate is too dangerous, and it's much more. The money is much easier elsewhere, and so you have decided to focus on that. So we'll start with you aboard your ship. You have your captain, Captain Jonathan Williams, is going to be. He just goes by Jack. He's going to let you know that he's found a freighter. Not a freighter, sorry. He has found a station, an anchor station, that apparently has gone through some sort of malfunction and appears to be abandoned. Now, anchor stations, for our viewers as well as for the players, anchor stations are what allow faster than light travel in an economic way. There are transwarp routes that run across different regions of space, and those are held in place and kept functional by these anchor stations. The ship doesn't stop at the anchor station. The station just keeps the faster than light path available. And so they're very important, but unless there's something in the system that people want to stop for, they also tend to be very isolated because no one stops to say hi to the road. They just keep traveling. Now, most ships are required by law to have backup faster than light systems that let them use a hyperdrive, but that's much slower and more expensive. And to be honest, a lot of ships don't bother to keep those systems working because, why? We've got transwarp. Transwarp works much better. You get there much faster. Why would we put all this money into a system that we only need if something bad happens? And bad things never happen. And you can use that as your watchword for tonight. This will be a simple op, very routine, I'm sure. So your captain will be very excited about this payday. And so he pilots the Eventide, drops out of transwarp near where the station's supposed to be. And as he does so, Julia, please go ahead and roll me your navigation check, please.
All right. Not seeing that I have that specific skill.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead and roll your ship sciences check.
Got it. Okay. Succeed by 2.
Okay. So as you are managing your duties on the ship, and you come out of hyperspace, out of transwarp, you notice that the readings for the transwarp are actually a little bit unstable, which means there's a chance that ships might get knocked out of transwarp. And if the station fails entirely, they might not be able to travel using it at all. So that's something that you pick up as you drop out, that hopefully your hyperdrive works, because otherwise you might not be leaving.
All right, all right.
Small thing.
Okay.
Dark
Nothing
and
to worry
stormy
about.
night.
Do you do anything with this information, or just keep it to
I
yourself?
will let the captain know.
Okay. The captain will make a face and ask you to make a note to remind him to go yell at your engineer later to make sure that he's been keeping the systems of the ship working. But he is bound and determined. He's like, we're not missing a payday like this. There's technology on that ship that we can't get anywhere else. And so he just makes the decision to go forward. He tells you to go get Wayne and Zach and tell them that they're going to be on the boarding team.
Right. So this is all Gloria's fault.
This is all Gloria's fault.
All right. So I will go and interrupt Wayne and Zach and whatever they're up to.
Okay. Wayne, Zach, do you do anything before grabbing your equipment?
I just I'm noticing on my sheet that one of my skills is piloting heavy equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be relevant to this situation to bring heavy equipment?
You're going to be piloting the lift shuttle that's going to bring the booty back. That's why you're on the first team over. Got to get that in place so that you can get that loaded up with all the valuable equipment you're going to borrow off of this station.
Just really hoping it was a mech, but that's okay.
That would have been the strike team.
Nope, just grab my kit.
All right. Sean?
Gonna grab my tunes,
Okay.
because
I'm
he
gonna
Guys,
leave
grab your
Gloria's
tools.
scathing note before I go.
All right. You leave a note reminding Gloria, don't want to be trapped here. And this is one of the worst places to be trapped, because you'll all be aware that, well, most anchor stations are in systems that have some sort of useful mineral deposit, or, at least something interesting, some sort of colony or settlement. This is one of the deep space anchor relay stations. And that means there is no star, there's no planets, there's nothing out here but this station floating in the deepest, blackest, emptiest part of space. Even for space, this is pretty out there. So it's not the place that you're going to want to settle down. So you begin to make your way to your stations and you jump aboard the shuttle. The shuttle has a large heavy lifter on it, basically a futuristic forklift, and room for 10 of the crew, so 7 people besides yourselves. The captain has already assigned a team to be with you, and you all chat and say hello to each other as you file on board. The captain gives Wayne the go-ahead to detach and begin making his way towards the station.
Yes, red shirts.
All right.
I think that's us, but yeah.
It's all 10 of us. It's not just the 7.
We're the
All
side
right.
characters.
Now, we're going to start, we're going to move to a vote. And this is going to be one that the players aren't privy to. And
For some of you have my personal Discord, you could DM me what it is. And
Yeah. And then you could share, right, Sean? Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You're the one with danger sense.
It's kind of, once you know you're in danger, it's there's only so much help it gives. Whoa,
That's true.
falling star.
I was about to
They're gonna be
say,
falling off the whole
a
time.
shooting star.
All right.
It's really hoping
Actually,
that
no, that was an astronaut. That's
All right. So
Wait,
one-
let's do it.
That's what we call foreshadowing.
okay. So there's one little bug here. So I'm just fixing it. The question didn't have all of the things that it was supposed to have. Okay.
Yeah, like let them live.
All right.
That was never an option.
Okay. So the question is now up. So this is going to determine a lot of the flavor for tonight. I know it's a little vague, but that's on purpose because we want our audience to also not quite know exactly what's happening. So go ahead and go on to your vote and select the thing. I did have to restart it, so actually I'm going to post a new link. There we go. For those who may need it. Nope, same link. All right. All right, votes are coming in. All right. Interesting. We'll go with that one then.
Can say
Not
that
good when
every
it's more
single
unanimous.
time.
Yeah.
Pretty clear victor this time. So
It's like rolling behind the DM screen occasionally, and you're not actually rolling for anything. Just
All
keep
right.
them on the edge.
So you all get on board, and Wayne, you begin navigating over towards the ship. Go ahead and roll me your operations for heavy equipment.
Oh man, I don't want to use all of these at the beginning of the night. That was a success by 11.
Okay.
Dang.
Wow.
Last good roll.
Is that like a crit or something?
So
I think technically, yeah, that is.
So Wayne gets the shuttle started, and it launches itself out of the bay and quickly makes its way across to the station. There's some debris around the station, trash that's been dumped and has kind of stayed nearby due to gravity and that sort of thing. But he deftly maneuvers through all of it, runs around, and brings the shuttle to a nice sliding end right where it needs to be before gently kissing the dock and starting the docking operation. It is one of the smoothest landings that you have had, and you can tell that he's excited for to get things started. That, or there was something in his drink this morning.
What was it, Wade?
Hey?
Let's unload.
You'll notice. So you go ahead and you start the docking. You start making a connection with station with the station, and the station's regular information comes up on the screen as is typical. It identifies itself as station X45 Prostrantov. But then as it starts to give you the information for visitors, where to check in, all of the normal things a visiting group would need to know, you start seeing that some of the information doesn't quite match what you would expect. Your docking permit is listed as not being for 1 day, which is the standard, but as for 5 years. And your the dietary restrictions and customs information is completely corrupted. This is normally what would tell you what you are allowed to bring on board and what to expect as far as greeting. All that automated information starts to degenerate into static and corrupted characters. And then a red light starts flashing on your console. Go ahead, Lauren.
I was gonna say, can I try and roll to rescue the information?
I would
Okay.
like to as well, if possible.
Yes. Go ahead. Each of you can roll your respective technology skills.
I've done all my work for the day.
Okay.
Succeed by 1.
Would this be electronics repair or would it be computer hacking?
Computer hacking.
Okay, succeed by 4.
Okay. As the
Is
two of
ship
you are,
sciences, because it says it's chemical and nuclear.
yeah,
Is
this
that-
is more Sean's area, but you're welcome to make an attempt. So I will apply a
Yeah.
penalty to yours. It's okay.
I'll just look over his shoulder.
Okay, so as Zach starts working on his console to try and figure out what's corrupting the data, Wayne, you're distracted by a red light that starts flashing, and then you're distracted from the red light as you look up, and you hear the captain over comms start yelling something about the systems on the ship crashing. And you hear the phrase, "It's coming from the shuttle," and then you hear, "Cut the link," and then it all goes silent.
So we've been hacked. Or did I not hear this?
You're obviously concerned about this, Wayne, but as a pilot, you realize that the red light that's flashing is the light that's indicating the status of the power core of your ship.
Yeah, no, at this point I would turn to my more computer savvy person. Just hey, this is what's going on. We should probably get in here and figure out if this is hostile.
Zach's
You
like, but I gotta know about the dietary restrictions.
I think this is
Zach,
important.
You finished extracting what you can. You haven't had a chance to read it yet, but you do have a copy of it. Wayne, the red light is beginning to flash more quickly, and you notice that you're about to experience an overload in the core of your ship. And as this occurs to you, you see out the window arcs of electricity begin dancing around the hull of the Eventide, and you hear you imagine through the depths of space, you can very well imagine the sounds of the decking and hull plate starting to screech apart, and the entire thing blows up in a giant fireball as their core completely melts down. Debris pelts the ship. The rest of you will feel the whole shuttle rock with the force of the explosion not too far away, and atmosphere loss alarms will go off as some of the shrapnel penetrates the hull. You're venting atmosphere.
Can we get off the shuttle now?
You don't need to ask me. Just tell me what you're doing.
No, I was telling the crew.
Okay.
Brought it up before, and everyone just wanted to sit here.
There's a scramble of panic as people start moving. The ship's docking doors are not functioning as
All right.
atmosphere begins to vent and you become somewhat lightheaded.
All right, let's do it.
I'm gonna finish putting on the rest of my vac suit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have the base of it on, but I'll probably.
I didn't.
On helmet.
In the future, I'll declare it, but I'm probably going to wear that the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys get your masks on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How are you going? That's good. It's not going to help you once the air is gone and it gets cold and you start to explode because of the lack of pressure. So you've got a couple seconds, maybe a minute. How do you get out of the ship?
I'm going to use some of my strong ability.
Okay. Tell me what you do, Ben.
What kind of door are we looking at or opening?
Okay. So you have two options. There is the cargo hatchway, which is large enough to allow you to move heavy equipment in and out. you're not sure if that one's connected. Typically, you set that up after people have disembarked and you've done, the customs with the station authority. But if you get that door open, there should be another door right next to it, and you should only be in vacuum for a short time. Or there is a smaller door, which is for, ingress and egress of passengers, which you do know is docked. That's the one that you've clamped onto.
Do I know if any of the other crew on the shuttle are savvy enough to go figure that out? Down below, they're able to figure out if we're connected or not.
The shuttle is arranged that has a small cockpit area,
Mhm.
which is where you are, and that is what it connects to the dock. There's a little antechamber just behind the cockpit. That's where the hatchway is. And then behind that antechamber is the large cargo area, and that's where the rest of the crew is. And that's where they're all panicking. You're not super confident in their abilities. You've worked with this crew for a long time.
Yeah.
You largely regard yourself as being the only intelligent individual aboard the ship, except for maybe the captain sometimes.
Not anymore.
Thanks.
You've been promoted.
Yeah, sure. I'm captain now. I'll take that.
Danger.
So are we talking like old submarine with the wheel that we turn kind of?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. I'm gonna use my wrench for leverage.
All right, you grab your wrench and jam it into the thing. Everyone roll a health check as the atmosphere is getting pretty thin and your blood vessels start to feel the strain of the low pressure environment.
Yeah, I failed
by
that.
2.
Success by 3.
Failed by
Okay.
1.
Oh
Lauren.
no. Dead
Zach.
already.
Zach, as you see Wayne jam the wrench into the hatch and start trying to crank the door open desperately, go ahead and roll me a strength roll, Wayne.
Yes.
Julia begins to waver on her feet, and she looks like she's about to pass out.
Am I totally fastened with my helmet and I have my oxygen and all that for my spacesuit?
You are ready to go, yes. You were mostly suited up in anticipation of the mission, so it didn't take you long to get your suit sealed.
All right. Then I will go and help her with hers.
All right.
I have a success by 5 on my
All
strength
right.
check.
You start cranking the door open. It takes a moment to give, but with the leverage, you're able to start spinning that wheel as quickly as you can. Sean, please roll me a outlaw spacer roll for getting Lauren's suit on without having proper leverage as she's starting to slide down to the floor.
8, so success by 6.
All right.
You live.
So you quickly get that helmet on. Ben, that door is open, and a gust of sweet, sweet oxygen blows into the room, dispelling a little bit of the cold, but also making it somewhat difficult to move forward as it is also venting through the ship out into space. All of you make a strength +4 roll. It's not too strong.
Sorry.
Success by 2.
Is that +4 to the strength skill, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So it makes the roll easier.
Then that is a success by 8.
Okay. And Sean?
2.
What'd you
Success
2?
by 2.
All right. Did anyone not succeed, Lauren?
No, I got it.
Okay. All right. You all make it off the ship. You push your way on board. As you start to exit, trying to get to the safer location, you can hear the sound of the crew banging on the hatch.
No,
apparently, the depressurization has sealed that door shut.
Oh, the heck.
Wait, so we don't have the other 7?
Nope. You guys are the command crew. They were in the cargo bay, and they are currently suffocating. But you are outlaws, so maybe you don't care.
I'm going to roll my outlaw spacer to try to judge how survivable trying to save them would be in this case.
Yeah, that's perfectly fair.
You should get your suit on. I'm going to go back and open that door for him.
So I I thought we would already have been wearing them, so I just assumed I was. But the second I get the chance and it slows down, I'm going to be wearing that vac suit the entire session.
Okay. It does cause
Yeah.
penalties to stuff you have to do. It's
Okay.
wearing a spacesuit.
Well, I just
So-
rolled a crit to get the hatch open for them.
Okay. You wrench the door open, and the little breeze that was coming out before from the
Mhm.
space station is now open, and you see that the hole in the cargo bay, unlike your area which had a leak, that has been blown open entirely.
And I shut the door.
The wind starts howling past you,
Mhm.
and try as you might, the
Oh,
people
'cause it
who are
opened in-
banging at the
okay.
door are now being thrown by that wind out into the depths of space.
That's our leeway, guys.
You also get a nice view of the reactor, which is located in the cargo area at the top, and it is not a color that you appreciate. It is a beautiful sunset orange, and it is supposed to be made of steel.
Oh.
I'm gonna eject the core, please.
I'm gonna book it further inside the station.
All right. Julia turns around and makes for higher ground, metaphorically speaking. Sean and Ben, what do your characters do?
Does this shuttle have an eject the core?
No, it does not.
All right,
That would
then
be
I also
ejecting
head
the
out.
shuttle. All right.
Wait,
I
eject
think-
the shuttle.
I think we've crossed the threshold where there isn't really a challenge anymore for me to try to beat. This is just, well, we lost that one, so I'm gonna go back up and I'm gonna push the no thanks button on the station and try to shoot the shuttle out.
All right. You make your way back, and you start moving in because you are fighting against the atmospheric loss. Because the other two were still aboard the station, you're going to need to roll me another strength check as you struggle to board the station against the flow of air.
Can
That
I
is-
help him in?
You're good. That's a success by 7. We're good.
He's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So
He has
Just
one.
making my
up.
hair look incredible.
you push your way onto the station, and we're going to have another vote to see what you find as you finally turn your attention to the station that you are now stranded on.
'Cause,
Zombies,
well,
ghosts, or
I-
aliens.
All right. So there's a new vote up. Some of you have already put your vote in, but if you have not, take a moment to get onto the website and vote.
I think you guys are a little too eager. Just gonna put that out
well,
there.
well, and also, like, how long do you want the stream to go? How long do you want to be entertained? So,
Just
Right,
think
down
about
7.
long term here.
yeah, like, what does your day look like?
All
Pretty
you're
You
big.
have
getting
homework?
back from the teams is shh, don't worry about it.
That was
you,
the
Chris.
sound of the airlock.
Yeah, it's one big shh.
As long as all the
Only
problems keep
dreams
being,
now.
can I move it with my big arms? Then I'll be okay.
Don't say that.
He'll be okay whatever happens. You heard him.
All right, it looks like we have another
if a very
tie.
specific circumstance is true.
Everyone, so we've got 5 of the votes in. If you haven't voted, go ahead and finish that now.
How
Oh,
are there 5 votes with a tie?
6 votes. Well, it's ranking, so they
Oh.
can have
Mm.
first, second, third, and fourth place. All right, that we had a 6 vote, and it looks like that's brought us a victor here. All right, so we're gonna continue on from there. And so as you step onto the station, breathless and still trying to come to terms with the understanding that not only did you lose the shuttle, but you lost the ship you came on. And so you're going to have to find your own way out of this. You turn your attention towards the corridors, and you see that they are completely empty. Not a sign of conflict, no people, not even dust. Just completely scoured clean and in pristine condition.
At least air filtration's still good. So we have that going for us.
Also, to exterior oxygen.
Is there
Not
air?
not waste my tanks.
I think
Okay.
we know that there's plenty of air in here.
Seems okay.
There's air. You don't know if it's breathable. Lauren, this would be your character. This would be
Yes.
a ship systems.
Yes. I will science the heck out of the air. Okay. I succeed by 1.
Ooh, we did it.
Okay. You go ahead and check the air, and the readings come back that yeah, this is completely breathable. In fact, it is like the hallways, untouched.
So, David, what exactly, I did not look up what danger sense actually entails beforehand.
Not that it'll come up.
Yeah, I apologize. Do you know what does that mean?
Yes.
What can I
So
do?
danger sense means that anytime something imminently dangerous is about to happen, uh, I will roll secretly for you. And if that passes, I will let you know that something's wrong. And if you get a critical success, which is a 3 or a 4, then I will tell you some details about what it might be. But
Thanks a lot,
otherwise,
David.
it's just a
Just kidding.
general.
He's just gonna forget, and you just don't have danger sense.
The danger you were just in, you were aware of as soon as it, was going on. So I figured a roll was not necessary when there was a flashing red light that was telling you the ship's going to blow up. So.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna ask. Hey Zach, what did you save anything from those did you manage to salvage anything from the readouts?
Yeah, I haven't looked at them. Hold on. No, I'll look at them.
Okay.
I'm gonna get my vac suit on.
It says on our meal planner for today, human flesh.
All right.
To serve mankind. Stop it.
Zach, you were able to salvage most of the welcome message, and everything in there is pretty straightforward. The issue seems to be that at one point, the stream started to be mixed in with whatever virus or program started to override your ship, and that was causing the corruption. However, when you go to check out, now that you've separated this out, you want to see what's on that side, you realize that it's not there anymore.
The virus?
The virus, yeah. It has deleted itself or something similar. And all you see is a repeating piece of the welcome message, saying "sleep" over and over and over again.
I will inform the other two that we are screwed.
Do either of them not have their vac suit on? Are you guys?
I'm putting mine on.
Yeah. Cool.
How
Well,
long would our oxygen containers last without using air from the station?
You each have 2 hours of oxygen. So running off your own air would only work for that period of time, and then you would need to pick up new canisters or recharge at an oxygen station.
Is there a valve that lets us take in air from the exterior without taking our
Yeah,
helmets
you
off?
can switch to environmental air.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch to environmental air and then just, then it's pretty easy to turn that on if I need to,
Gonna
as
wait
opposed to
and
putting
watch
on
Wayne.
flyback suit.
Sadly, I will also do the same.
All
Whatever
right.
drugs are in the air that Julia couldn't find.
Wayne, go ahead and roll me a health check, please.
Oh, no.
Is
I
this
assume me as
to
well.
stay awake?
No.
Okay. It's like this is I have good stuff for that, so
Yes,
that's what
yes,
it is.
you do. If we get to where you're dying, that will become very useful.
If that's an 8, so that's a success by 4.
Okay. All right.
I will
You
switch
take
into-
deep breath. The air is the cleanest station air that you have ever experienced. And after the air of your scavenger ship, which is quite a far ways on the other end of the clean spectrum, it's actually quite nice. No smell, though. Completely sterile.
That reminds me, did we eject the shuttle? Can't remember if I actually. I said I was
No.
going
No.
to,
No,
but
I thought we did.
Oh,
No.
did you?
that was my when I get back on the ship, I'm gonna hit the no thank you button.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
we did.
understand.
I
what
wasn't
that meant.
clear. That's me. That's not anyone else. That was me
It's
saying
a
I don't
technical
want to
term.
deal with that. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. Yes. So you have hit that, and as you're like, "Oh, I'm glad I did that."
Mhm.
You guys have moved a ways down the hall. You all said that you're going further into the station, away from the airlock. You feel the deck plates beneath your feet shudder as the docking area gets blown off entirely by the explosion of your shuttle, and a large uh, bulkhead comes slamming down in between
good.
where you're standing in the hallway and the end of the ship as the automated systems isolate the breach.
Be a
I
long
jump.
day if we had to keep, pushing past air constantly. So it's nice that the bulkheads work.
Lauren, you are. Go ahead and roll me a ship systems roll, please.
Okay.
I want to ask the
She
two
at
of
like a
them.
terminal. Sorry.
Nope.
I was gonna ask Zach to get a layout of the ship. And if not, then I'll talk to Julia. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Julia.
Sweet.
Well,
Succeed
before
by
you do
5.
that, Wayne. All right, so you
Okay.
succeed by 5. Lauren, some part of your mind notes that all of the alarms that are supposed to come on when a hull breach occurs, because it's generally a fairly serious thing on a space station, they aren't going off. The automated system sealed it off, but the station still remains completely silent.
Where
As the
are the alarms?
As the rest of you realize that you are now well and truly stuck on this station, I would like all of you to roll a fright check, please.
Oh no, I'm really bad at those.
I met it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Zach manages to keep his panic under control.
That's a
I
succeed by 2.
fail.
Oh no.
Oh, Julia.
I didn't realize this was part of my character no matter which sheet it was, but I am fearful.
Oh, you are?
Yes, I have a
Oh.
-6 to fright checks.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
no chance.
I didn't know it could go that low.
Well, that just puts her fright check at 12, because with her high IQ, she would normally have an 18.
Would I?
So,
What,
yeah,
mine's
have
at
a
12 as well.
Oh, wait.
yeah, the -6 is already accounted for in your number, Lauren.
Oh, I see. I see. Then I succeed
Oh,
by 2.
yes. Hey, me
Hanging
too.
in
What's
there.
up? We are the
Look at
winners,
us.
all of us.
Okay, all of you are like, all right. Yeah, we've been in tight spots before. We're not dead, which is a good place to be. We'll work with that. So, Lauren, you point out that the station alarms didn't go off. Wayne, what were you saying that you were going to do?
I would like Zach to pull up a diagram of the ship's layout, if possible. and then ask Julia if she knows where various systems should be located, just based on experience.
will
As I'm
roll.
starting to try and pull that up, whether it be from a ship terminal or some like iPad type thing that I can connect with this station.
You do have a hand tablet that's got your various, hacking tools on it, but you need somewhere to plug in, and there is nowhere. There's no terminal or place to plug in this part of the hall. You'll have to move deeper into the station.
I
Should I roll
Uh,
ship sciences for
Yes, go
my
ahead and roll
general
ship
knowledge?
sciences. Yes.
all right. So
Succeed
considering
by
our
2.
situation, uh, I think some objectives should be find out what this virus is, and also maybe disable the station to the point where the jumping won't work, so that maybe other ships will try and use it and stop here, and then they can pick us up.
I like this
Hey.
plan.
If we weren't outlaws, I would say that is really cruel.
I will force you to help me, passenger ship.
I wonder how many ships would have to disappear at this station before someone else would come figure out what's going on.
Was there only one docking port, though?
No,
Only
stations of this size have a number of different places to dock. It's a standard layout. Anchor stations are expensive and complicated, so they tend to all be the same because it's difficult to make the design in the first place. Why reinvent the wheel each time? Most relay stations like this, they try and place them in systems that have a lot of natural resources or traffic, because it makes it easier to maintain the station if there's a lot of regular trade going on. However, this being a deep space relay outside of any system, it just has a whole bunch of extra docking ports for no reason. But yes, there are other places that you could dock. You'll be aware, as you know, for your earlier role, as far as notable pieces of the ship. A ship like this is going to have a set of medical labs. There's going to be an engineering section which connects to both the computer core, which is going to be towards the upper levels of the station in the center. And then there is the reactor core, which is going to be at the bottom center of the ship as well. And then there's the normal things you'd have. These stations are designed so that they can sustain a community. There's going to be people living here that have to be able to be self-sustaining, which means a community of a certain size to keep people from going crazy, being out here alone. And so there's mess halls, there's residential areas, there's going to be rec areas, recreation areas, and then the bridge, of course. So it's a small village, a town-sized station. There should be, at least a few hundred people living here, which just drives home how empty it is, which it shouldn't be. But, maybe that's not your problem yet.
That's why we're
Maybe
here.
they're all at a football game.
Yeah, they're on a
Empty
football
because
game. They
we're
take
Would-
their local rugby league very seriously.
Oh. Well, that explains what happened.
So probably find oxygen and then just shut down the reactor.
I think that it would be smart to find the security systems for the ship and make sure that those aren't going to perceive us as intruders. Because that sounds like an extra problem we shouldn't try to have.
Where was the computer core, David?
Computer core is on the upper levels of the ship towards the center, usually.
So could we go from the computer core to the upper center just down to the reactor core from there if we needed to?
That sounds like
There
a
are-
dramatic scene.
Yes, there's typically a direct connection. Usually that's for cabling and that sort of thing. If you're going to be on foot, you would leave the computer core and take one of the lifts down to a lower level. But in a pinch, you could try and make your way down the conduit that links those two together. It's essentially the spinal cord of the ship.
Okay. And will we be going through the residential area to get to the computer core?
You're not sure. You're on the outer ring where the docking are, and you're going to have to find one of the spokes that leads to the intersection.
Okay.
That might be a straight shot straight in from where you are, or you may have to make your way around the edge of the ring until you find one.
And then the bridge
You were
would
distracted
be...
during the approach and didn't quite catch which docking area you got in because of how fast Wayne docked.
Yeah, Wayne.
You know, it's just part of who I am.
Generally, when you like park a ship, you don't want to explode it afterwards. Just
I will note that was not Wayne's fault.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and if I had done that, I would also accuse me. I'm gonna get my wrench in my left hand and start walking down the corridor.
if you're the captain, it's your fault.
All right.
Sounds good.
Deal. So Wayne starts making his way down the corridor with his wrench in hand. You're all suited up. Are Zach and Julia on ship air, on station air, or are you on suit?
Why do you need to know?
Just so that I, can imagine it correctly. I need to have a complete picture.
Also, limited O2 would be enough of a reason for him to keep track.
I'm on station.
Look on the positive side.
Yeah, it's like maybe.
All right,
it's not that bad.
Zach switches to stationary.
I also switched to stationary.
Okay, both of you roll me health checks.
We're taking those secret drugs or something. Oh no!
I failed by one.
Oh, okay, that's.
It's like we're going to the computer core, and if we lose our
health-
computer person,
Oh
no!
Fail by 3.
Fail by 3.
Oh, no.
All right.
Punching a computer doesn't do.
Both of you are struck by how much nicer the station air is than the air that you were breathing from the ship, and that it's been compressed into your O2. You feel perfectly fine, and you start following Wayne further into the ship. You come to an intersection, and so you're moving inward, and you come to an intersection. The outer ring spins off to the left and off to the right. There's some signage talking about guest accommodations and security and where to check in. And as you're reading those signs, the station goes completely dark. The lights switch off. Go ahead and roll fright checks with a +3 because it's not too scary yet.
Holy crap. All right.
It just met it.
Success by 2.
Success by 6.
Wait. No, I success by 3. Sorry.
Okay. I'm going to roll so well for all the small things, and then something big's going to happen.
Yeah, okay. And then, Ben, I saw you gesture. You're switching on your light.
Man, cameras. This is so good.
It helps.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't help that mine has like 6 frames per hour.
Ben, do you
Just
have a
move in
light?
slow-mo.
In your equipment?
I would if I was the one who'd made the character. So.
All helmets have a light.
I'll let you have one on your helmet. All right, so you guys go ahead and switch on your lights, and you start moving down the corridor. And it's time for another vote.
As we're walking, I'm just going to be playing tunes in my helmet.
All right.
Yeah.
Start making your way down the corridor. As you do, Sean, you will notice a terminal behind one of the security desks that you might be able to use to access the ship. Do you take a moment to try and get that map you were talking about, or did you want to keep moving?
Yeah, I'll let the group know that I'm stopping for this, and I'm going to try to use it, but not like connect it to my own pad that you said I had.
So okay, so you're going to use it directly?
Yeah.
Okay. So you start working on the terminal. Go ahead and roll me your hacking. A security screen pops up wanting to know why you are not the security guard that's supposed to be stationed there. And it's going to
Success by
take you a moment to try and negotiate with it.
Like, we
Someone's
want to know
wearing
too.
hacker sunglasses.
Success by 5.
Okay.
I'm liking all the successes that are going on.
And so you're working
Absolutely.
through, and we're just waiting for the last vote here.
David's really softballing the start of this.
Well, it's not
Doing
start,
just
it all
enough
happens at the
to-
beginning.
Well, yeah, I mean, just doing just enough to make us feel like we've overcome something, which makes us comfortable.
All right.
Except
Votes
it makes
are
me
in.
more stressed.
I'm going to, it looks like 6 votes is what we've got. If at any point, Grace, someone mentions that they're having trouble or they're not able to vote, if we get someone new that comes in, just let me know that 6 is no longer the number to watch for. But we have our votes in. So as Sean is bent over doing that, Sean, you're going to hear a distant crack sound, and the whole station is going to feel like it jerks to the side just a little bit as something disrupts the artificial gravity of the station, and all of you are going to hear a rushing sound.
I'm gonna find a handhold of some
kind?
sort.
Lauren,
Is it a whooshing, a sloshing, or a clattering, David?
it's a whooshing and a sloshing.
Oh,
Oh no!
Lauren, you have a split second as you suddenly realize that something is not right, and you look up and you see cracks spreading across the ceiling.
okay.
What do you do about it?
I switched to internal oxygen.
Do you say anything? I've got good reflexes, so I'm just
Actually,
gonna bank on
I
it.
will try to say something, but I stammer when I'm under high stress. So,
Thanks.
All right, go ahead and roll for your stammer.
so I'm trying to roll under 9. Oh, critical success!
Ooh!
All right, you hear Julia yell, "Switch to oxygen." Both of you, Julia, because of her danger sense, is going to, she doesn't have to roll. She had enough forewarning, so she switches to internal oxygen as the ceiling begins to come apart. Sean and Ben, you two are going to have to roll a dexterity check to see if your reflexes are fast enough to get those seals closed before what happens next.
Just gonna go ahead and assume that combat reflexes has nothing to do with this.
Nope.
Cool. Hey.
I mean, you can shoot it if you want, but it's not going to help.
Well, that's a 4 total. So that is a success by
So the teens
That's
are
a
not
critical
trying
7.
success.
Yeah,
to
I
kill
crit.
me off first. They're trying to leave me alone and then kill me.
Oh, I didn't mention before, but
Good
I think
job,
the
I
teens should
approve.
know that my character has autophobia, which is the fear of being alone. So, just to really spice it up.
All
Figured
right.
I'd just
Sean,
throw
did
that
you
out there.
pass your dexterity check?
Dex, thank you. I was trying to ask what that was. Yes, by 4.
Okay.
Hopefully a crit lets me help you.
So, you hear Julia call out, you both get your suits sealed, and the ceiling completely comes apart as a torrent of water comes pouring down, smashing you down into the floor. Something massive comes with the water, some large metal piece of equipment that apparently got caught up in the flood and smashes into you. Please roll a dodge -2, each of you, as the
God.
floor. So, and as the water comes down and this piece of equipment slams into the floor, you each struggle to get away.
Where is dodge on the sheet?
Yeah.
It's encumbrance.
Yeah, it's under encumbrance. Assume light encumbrance. So number
I'm so
the second
screwed.
level.
No way. I succeeded by 1. My dodge is 8. Oh my gosh.
I do not.
Julia, no. Fail by 5?
I failed by
it's
5 as well.
Fail by 8?
No.
Oh.
To roll was 8. So I mean,
Oh.
I
So
guess
what's
it's normal? Fail by 5.
you failed by 5?
Yes.
Wow. All right. And you fail by 5. All right.
Yeah.
Wayne, you roll out of the way as this giant thing comes down, slams into the floor. What?
I'm sorry. I failed by 6.
You didn't need to share that.
And it completely destroys the floor beneath you, smashing into Wayne and Zach. Both of you are going to take 2d6 damage.
Do you mean
no.
Julia and Zach?
Yeah, Julia.
Julia and Zach. Sorry, Julia and Zach.
I could probably take it better than Julia.
All
Julia,
104 pounds of me. Yeah.
you are going to take 4 damage. Lucky roll.
Ooh.
Sean, you are going to take 8 damage.
Oh,
I'm in critical condition almost.
where?
8 of 10. Or
I don't know if this was mentioned earlier for the teens, but average health is 10. So 8 damage is just about a kill.
All right.
Or a knockout.
From health?
Yep, just from health.
So I got 4.
No, not from your health, from your HP, which is below health, and then below basic damage. So in point pools, you'll have an FP and an HP.
Oh, 8.
You have 8 total?
Yes.
So she's at half. Sean is at 20%.
2 are at 10, yeah.
Okay, so this piece of machinery that's been dislodged by the flood comes smashing down, crashes into Zach and Julia, and then blows a hole in the floor. And the water, this torrent of water is still coming, pushes you, trying to suck you down into that hole into the floor, pulling you into the bowels of the ship. Julia and Zach, you guys get pulled underneath instantly, being struck by the machinery, and you get drained down into the bottom of the ship. Wayne, you have an option. You can try and pull yourself out of the torrent of water and try and get clear, which is going to require a strength check, or you can try and dive in after your friends.
I'd have to make a whole nother roll.
You'd have to make a number of rolls, but tell me what you're going to try and do, and then we'll see.
Well, to play my character, why would I try to avoid the danger when I could do something super cool? And
all right,
go save my friends. This is rad.
Well, if you're not even going to try and resist, you just dive in.
And also masking my fear of being alone.
Don't leave me. All right, you follow the torrent of water down.
Cannonball, let's go.
Go ahead and roll me a dexterity -3 to try and control your descent enough to not damage your suit.
Good, bad, good. No, that's pretty mid. Hold on. Okay, David. That is so you said -3?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fail by 2. Would have been a success by 1.
All right.
So
if it hadn't been for you meddling.
So at least there's that, like hypothetically could have succeeded.
Okay.
Feels good.
Hypothetically,
as you try and navigate down through, you're trying to swim, you're trying to stay in the center of the stream away from the walls, and then you suddenly find yourself free falling in a large open space, pinwheeling around as you fall down into this vast chamber.
Oh, like a cartoon character.
Yeah, roll me a
Your
perception.
hair looks amazing.
Yeah. Like a human ninja star.
All 3 of you roll me a perception.
Yeah, I'm noticing everything.
That's a success by 5.
I met.
Okay.
I'm so ready
Um,
for this situation.
I think I crit failed
Oh
because
no.
I rolled a
Alright.
17.
Julia
Yeah,
is
yep.
preoccupied with her injuries. So Wayne and Zach, as you both fall into this open chamber, you see the shape of something from the reflection of the one remaining working light you have, which is Julia's,
You mean
disappear up into the hole that you just came falling in through. Julia and Zach, your suits are no longer functioning correctly. You took damage. You've been hit by a large piece of machinery the size of a forklift. Your suits are no longer keeping oxygen in. As the water comes rushing into your suit, making it extremely difficult to not be in the water because it's inside the suit. Both of you have a moment of panic. Go ahead and roll fright checks for me, please.
yeah, I do.
My
With a
favorite.
-2, because that is a
Oh.
terrifying situation to be in.
Oh yeah, no, that's a fail. I might even
I
vote to just fail that
failed.
automatically. I would panic.
That's why it makes you feel more in control when you choose to fail something, doesn't it?
All right. So for those watching, the way GURPS works is when you fail a fright check, there's a table that tells you how your character responds to the fright check. And so we're going to take the amount they failed by and then add that to our table result.
And add 5 to mine because
Okay.
I'm fearful.
So we're going to start with Zach because Zach, we want to save the best for last. Zach, you failed by 2. Go ahead and roll me 3d6 and then add 2 to the result.
Totaling 12.
That's unfortunate. So you begin to panic, and in your panic, you begin to vomit in your suit as you
Oh.
choke on the water and are struggling to breathe. So you start thrashing in the water. You're frantically trying to get out of your suit. Let's see. I want you to roll against your health. And I want you to tell me how many rolls it takes for you to get it at a -2.
I crit all ones.
Oh, well, good job. All right. You're going to be thrashing around in your suit. You're panicking, and now you are drowning and choking. It's not a great situation, but you were able to keep yourself from trying to breathe as you struggle to get your suit off, clawing at the seals. Go ahead and roll me a Dex -2 to manage to unfasten your helmet while you are in this awful situation.
Success by 3.
Okay. You manage to get one of your, clumsy helmeted fingers or clumsy gloved fingers on the catch, rip it off, and throw your helmet. You're still, floating in the water and struggling to swim, but at least now, you're not
I'm not trapped in a
confined.
full
Yes.
of water.
You are, however, still underwater. You start trying to struggle to find your way forward. Roll me a perception check -2 to figure out which way is up as you thrash around in the water. Lauren, what is your total penalty for your roll? So the amount you failed by plus your fearful trait.
Oh, okay.
That's 21.
Okay. Thank you.
7.
7. Okay. Sean, you're going to lose 4 fatigue points. So that's his energy level. He starts with, I believe, 10 for Sean.
9.
9 starts with 9. If he loses all of those, he goes unconscious, but he doesn't die unless it's a bad time to be unconscious, in which case he might die shortly afterwards. But you managed to thrash your way to the surface. 10, you said, Lauren?
7.
7. Okay. Go ahead and roll 3 dice and then add 7 to your result.
Okie dokie. 17.
All right.
Oh,
Sean
it's all gonna be okay there, Julia.
Me.
and Wayne. So Wayne, you'll land in the water. You're still fairly oriented. You're able to tread water, and your suit's still mostly intact, so you have a lot more buoyancy than the other two do. So you're able to stay on the surface fairly well and see whatever it was that moved on the ceiling. It's probably just a piece of equipment or maybe rats, possibly the wind.
Must
However,
have been the wind.
Our old enemy.
you see Zach come bursting up out of the water, spluttering, gasping. He's clearly had a bad time of it. His helmet is gone. You don't.
Mhm,
That's missing. You don't see Julia. You
mhm.
don't see Bubbles. You don't see anyone trying to surface. All you've got's the light.
Yeah.
You see her light somewhere deep in the water.
Aw. Sad
But
Charlie
she
Brown
hasn't
music.
surfaced. Lauren, you have passed out.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So Lauren has a fear-induced fainting period. The lack of oxygen, she's just
Lucky.
she passes out. Technically, after 1 minute, she can roll health to see if she comes to, but she's currently breathing water, so that's probably not going to be relevant unless someone does something. So, Zach, you're completely preoccupied. You're not going to be good for anything for a couple minutes. Wayne, what do you do?
I'm the
Okay,
red
so I
shirt
got
of
a
red
few
shirt.
questions.
Mhm.
So is the water still coming down?
There's still some water coming down, but it's no longer the waterfall that it was. Whatever the
Okay.
original source is mostly drained.
How strong is there? Is there a current, and how strong is it?
Okay. There's no particular current.
Okay.
Of note, you seem to have landed in some basin, large steel chamber from what you can see, which isn't much, with the water and the light and all of that. But you are somewhere in the superstructure of the ship. There's girders and panels. Not a place meant for water, but this is where it's come to rest.
And air masks, are they watertight?
Yes. They're for use in completely vacuum rooms and that sort of thing. So your air mask would be watertight.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Zach if he has his air mask.
Zach is not capable of discussion or conversation at this time.
Oh, and how deep is the water? I probably can't
That
tell exactly, but
so you know that she is several yards down, and
Mhm.
the light is continuing to sink.
All right. Get my air mask in my hand, and I'm just gonna drop under.
Okay,
We're
all
going.
right, you dive. Okay,
So
if
let me do
you
a swimming.
leave your mask on and sealed, you're going to have a -5 to dive underwater because you float.
Strong.
I mean, I'm in my whole vac suit, so
Yep,
um,
which is filled with air. You're a floaty cork. It's not as bad as it could be. The suits are quite heavy, but the buoyancy is still positive.
so this is a little bit of a meta question, but is swim a strength skill by chance?
This one would be. I would roll this as strength.
All right, I'm going to try while having air. Oh no, Julia, no.
All right, you sink slowly in the pitch black water. One lance of light coming out from your helmet, beginning to flicker because your whole suit's damaged. All right, Ben, go ahead and roll me. So, because you don't have swim, because you grew up in space, and there's not a lot of water in space that you can swim in anyway. You're going to have a -3 for not having swim, and you're going to have an additional -3 for trying to swim when you have a floaty on, essentially.
Yes. I succeed by 2.
All right. Wayne powers through. Using those
Dang.
impressive muscles, he thrashes down into the water, holding the mask. You reach Lauren and grab her.
Mm-hmm.
Her suit's
Mask.
full of water. All right. You try and
Helmet
get the mask
off,
on.
mask.
Okay, so that's going to be first you're going to roll a dexterity -2 because you've got to do it one-handed underwater in the dark.
Crap.
I think minus yeah,
Well, he
-2.
has his light on his helmet still, right?
Yeah, it's pointing straight ahead. It's going to be hard to get it where he needs it.
All right, I failed by 2.
All right. So you guys sink a little bit deeper. Do you try again? You've got air, so you're
How-
not panicking.
How
You're
deep are we?
Okay.
Like-
You are probably between 12 and 15 feet below the surface at this point, and you're continuing to sink.
But you'll float to the top when you need. So
I mean, not necessarily.
Okay. Lauren, roll a health check.
Yeah, we're gonna start heading back up.
For each additional round that Lauren is underwater, she's going to roll a health check.
I
Okay.
need
Going
it.
back up.
You meet it. All right.
with Lauren or without?
Yeah, with or without Lauren.
With.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a swim check, -3. So strength -3.
For real, okay,
I
leave it
can have
behind.
this that easy for you.
That's a success by. Oh my gosh, brain 2. I think. Pretty sure. Yes.
All
Just-
right.
Yeah.
Get 5 feet up.
hmm
Go ahead and roll me another swim check. Lauren, go ahead and roll me another health check.
So now I have to be -1.
Uh-huh.
Ah, well, no.
That's a success by 8, David.
Okay. Lauren, roll a die. You take that much fatigue damage.
Oh, 2.
Okay, success by 8. You make it another you make it back up to the surface.
Gonna say, if I succeed by 8 and don't get back up.
Okay, so you make it back to the surface. Lauren, you're still underwater. One more roll.
And I'm gonna start being more aggressive, trying to get the mask
Yeah,
off.
I failed that one majorly. So
Okay, roll another d6 and lose that much fatigue.
what?
Ooh! I rolled a crit success to get her helmet off.
Okay.
Just when that becomes relevant.
After this
Yeah.
roll, Lauren.
Yeah. One fatigue point.
Okay, so where are you total now?
I'm at 7.
All right. I'm going to say that you also lost 3 from just the experience. Or no, 4, like Sean did. Same as Sean.
What? But okay.
Fatigue is a lot easier to get back. So
I'm at 3.
Okay.
But you're still good. You're
Good
good.
thing I rolled well.
Wayne, you wrench the helmet off. What do you do with the helmet? You just tossing it, or
Another question. So, air masks. Can I adjust the pressurization of them, or is it just automatic?
if you're asking if you can self-purge, then
I'm asking
yes.
if I can force air into Julia using the mask.
Um,
When the first aid person is unconscious.
all right, Julia, roll me a health check.
I know. I
Don't
never
know a lot
roll
about
health
water,
check.
so
Is it just a normal?
Yeah, just normal.
Okay. I succeed by 3.
Okay. That was to check to see if your lungs are full of water or not.
They're not.
So you don't know. So you go ahead. As far as you know, it's just a mask. It just it feeds air.
Cool.
There's no you don't have some advanced medical model that will perform CPR. So you just go ahead and put it on.
Yep, she's knocked out. She gets the mask. And I'm now gonna look for.
Roll me a
some
dex
not
check
swimming.
to put the mask on in the dark with
heavens.
gloves while swimming.
That's a fail by 1.
Okay.
And I'm gonna shout at Zach to be useful.
Zach, roll a health check. Let's see if you've recovered.
Only because I'm frustrated, not because you've done anything wrong.
That's a fail by 2.
Failed by 2. All right, he's still hacking over
Now
there.
you've done something wrong.
I'm also, almost dead. So
You're fine.
All right. Since you're floating, Wayne, you're able, once now that you've kind of calmed down and the situation is not urgent anymore, you take the time it takes to get the mask on properly. It's very difficult to do holding her up while trying to use 2 hands on the mask, but you manage to figure it out. She is still unconscious. She seems to be breathing.
Great.
You can't really do any sort of medical check. You're using all of your effort to keep her suit full of water buoyant.
I wouldn't try to do that.
So
that's not my thing.
You guys are in a large open space. Think the size of like a school auditorium that is 80% full of water. The ceiling is about 20 feet above you. It's completely pitch black. The water has completely settled, and all you hear is just the drip, drip, and the creaking of the ship around you.
All right, I would like to find a wall.
Okay, there are several.
Whatever's closest. Dude.
All right. You move to one of the walls. There are several conduits of cable that are running through a recessed thing vertically on the wall, so you can get over
Good.
there and grab onto those.
I'm not gonna
steady
grab
yourself.
it. No, I'm not taking that bait, dude. Let's grab the electric cables and pull them into the water. No, I'm going to try to find a panel that I can get loose with my wrench.
Okay.
Just somewhere. Just, or at least use my wrench to like wedge it into something to not have to swim to stay up.
Okay.
So that I can hold myself up and,
All right.
focus better.
Since you weren't using it when the water came, we'll say that it was attached to your belt or whatever. So you've still got that. I won't make you roll to see if you held on to it. You go ahead and work through that. Just go ahead and roll a strength roll.
I think
Actually,
Wayne
just
is
roll the
Mario.
damage for your wrench. That's what you should do.
Roll damage for my wrench?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's better. Thrust or swing? Probably thrust.
Swing.
Swing? Ooh, we'll take it. Ooh. Dude, wrenches are awesome. That is 14.
All right.
I'm mad.
Yeah, and for everyone, the wrench is like this big. It's like a giant like monkey wrench. It's not
industrial. Yeah.
not a wrench. It's it's a hydraulic open the fire hydrant type of wrench. All right, you swing. You easily, you swing at one of the seams in the wall. It very easily bends one of the panels back, and you're able to, get the thing wedged in there somewhere.
Cool.
There's no way to be certain. There's no electricity running behind it, but you take your chances. And the dice say that you are okay.
Oh, I was going to say, don't give the teens the opportunity to say something on that. That would be. That's just.
That would be the end.
Do you want the stream to stop? Okay. All right. I beckon Zach. Hey.
All right.
With what hand?
I yell.
All right, give me. Yeah, Zach's
Noise
recovered
beckon.
at this point. He's making his way downtown. All right, so you've gone ahead. You're recovered. Do you swim over to where they're at?
Yeah.
Okay. You roll me you can roll Dex or Strength -3 because you don't have swimming either.
And is my light still on?
Success by 3.
Your light is still on.
Okay, I'm looking for him.
Okay. He makes his way over.
Okay.
You can. So he makes his way over, and Zach, your light's busted. And you will see that Julia's is flickering, and no longer functionally useful due to the damage from the suit and then being in a flooded suit. So Wayne, you've got the only light.
Cool.
And the three of you are now huddled in a metal box underground. Under
I'd feel
walking
so
level
much safer underground.
in deep water.
You
So
are Mario. Oh my gosh.
we are going to do another vote now.
Oh. I'm gonna
My vote is
go ahead.
yeah. It's rescue ship comes
Oh,
sailing
gotcha.
by.
That's never gonna be an option. I'm gonna start lightly tapping Julia's face to get her to wake up. Just yo. It's over. We're done. Get up. Rescue complete.
Get up, Bambi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dad, get up, Dad.
Oh no, not that one.
All right.
No emotional comfort.
So there's a new vote on as the group tries to find their way out from the depths of the ship.
I just want to go to the place where you guys use the skills that I can't have. Because if you don't survive by the time we get to a reactor, I'm just gonna stand there and look at it. Like nothing's gonna happen. Me surviving does nothing in the long run. I can't actually
Is that why
solve the
you're afraid
problems.
of being alone?
It goes back to my childhood.
Ah.
I was set adrift in space.
Julia,
Oof. Yes.
please roll a health check to see if you regain consciousness now that you're breathing again.
Nope.
Does she get a boost from me shaking her? And...
Nope.
A +2 boost by me.
Physical trauma does not make it easier to wake up.
Gentle
All right.
physical trauma.
Those of you who are conscious, please roll me a hearing perception check.
Just gonna eat that fruit snack.
Fail by 3.
Crit success with a 4.
All right.
On the dice
yes.
side.
Oh no.
All right. Any last second votes?
To not to.
All right.
Things aren't looking up even if nothing happens, so.
Can I choose to not hear what's coming?
All right. Result is locked in. So
you can.
as you guys take a minute to catch your breath and check on Julia, Wayne, you're pretty focused on making sure that Julia's functioning as you kind of adjust and get yourself better attached to the wall. But Zach, you have enough attention to notice the sound of a quiet splash from the other side of the room. And after a few more seconds, a second splash. And looking down at the water, you see the ripples as they reach your side of the room.
As I hear it, I like to say something's in here with us, and then I'm just gonna go underwater a little bit, like just shallow, and just swim away from the group.
All right.
Blood in the water, baby.
I really appreciate you being the distraction.
Either I die quick or I live,
If the computer is the bad guy and you have gone and killed yourself, I'm gonna come to your house in real life and hit you on the head.
All right. So, Wayne, you hear Sean, you hear Zach whisper, "There's something in here with us." And then he dives under the water and swims away.
At least I told you, I thought about not telling you.
So
you are alone with an unconscious Julia. Roll me an autophobia check as panic starts to rise in the back of your mind.
Zach, what have you done?
We're doing good. We're doing good. That's a success by 4.
Okay, good.
Look,
Just
doing
roll
my
me
breathing exercises.
Now, Zach
Mm.
and Ben,
Box.
Zach and Wayne both roll me a regular fright check.
Success by 2.
Success by 1.
Okay,
Success by
you're frightened, but you're keeping it under control.
Yeah, this isn't great.
So, Zach, you swim off underwater. Roll me a Dex -3 for swimming.
Don't worry, I'm the one who's bleeding profusely, so really, I'm just leading it away from you guys.
You and Julia are
No.
both filling the water with human flavoring.
This
what
isn't
am I
one of
rolling?
those cases where suicide is noble, so you get nothing from
Oh,
me.
It's Dex.
Yeah, Dex -3.
Yeah, success by 2.
Okay. You start swimming away from the group. Are you following the wall or going out towards the center?
We're gonna go a diagonal, so away from the wall. Little harder to find, hopefully.
out in the
Okay.
middle.
Yep.
You move diagonally-ish out. It quickly goes pitch black. You can't see anything. You can't feel anything. You're not
Ac-
sure even how far under the water you are. But
After
you,
about just a short bit, I'm gonna be still as possible.
okay. How far away are you trying to get?
Like 10 or 15 feet, so not terribly.
Oh, that's nothing. Okay. Thought you were like taking off to the other side of the room,
No,
and I was
no.
like, "Well,
Okay.
good riddance, man."
You switch out to the group. Ben, what are you doing?
So you said the cables are recessed in the wall. Does that mean that there's an actual shaft that they're running through?
Yes.
Or
It runs as you turn to look. You
Mhm.
see that the shaft runs upward like this. It's about this far apart, so 6-8 inches. And then it goes into the wall into a conduit where several
Mhm.
other cables are running into. And that conduit is just big enough
Yeah, it is.
that you might be able to scramble in. But with Lauren unconscious, there's no possible way to get Julia in there with the way floating in the water the way you are, and without being able to use hands or have anything to push off of. So you could
Gentle
drop her
physical trauma.
and you could clamber in, or you could roll a very difficult roll to try and shove her in head first and then follow.
Yep.
But it's going to be loud and it's going to be time consuming if you try and take her with you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take just a second.
Roll your outlaw danger.
Hmm. There's not. I mean, there's no good option here. So I feel like whatever bad choice I make is,
Have I made it the 15 feet?
Yes, you've made it to
Approximately?
15 feet. Are you
All right,
staying underwater?
I am going to swim as loudly and splashily away from them as possible.
All right.
And that's a strength roll to shove her into the.
All right.
I'll be like, okay, well, the one who can't fight back is not going to be in the water.
Aw.
Okay, so you hear Zach start splashing and thrashing away in the water, which means you're back on the surface. So
Yeah.
Wayne starts trying to heft. I'm not gonna. You're strong enough to lift. Well, I guess with the suit full, just go ahead and roll strength for the lift.
Success by 9.
Success by 9. All right, so you're able to heave her up. It's very difficult with the suit being full of water. Once it leaves the water, that becomes extra weight.
Mhm.
It's no longer neutral buoyancy. It's now actual problems. Julia, go ahead and roll me a health check.
If you don't have claustrophobia, you should be just kind of scared. If you do have claustrophobia, you're gonna have a real bad time.
All right, she's still unconscious. Now roll me a dex to try and Julia handle her into the shaft.
I'm so glad I was unconscious for this.
Do I have enough experience with that now that maybe I have a rank in it? I met my dex.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Wow.
you're going to need to pass 4 times before she is in to where you can leave her there. So the first round, you get her up to where she's supposed to be, and you have passed your first check. Sean, you're splashing away, and you feel something constrict around your midsection and start to squeeze.
I'm going to say good luck.
Oh,
Run.
fly,
Okay.
you fool.
Swim, you fools.
I refuse to die before I know the mystery.
All right.
Am I rolling dex or strength, David? What is the check I have to keep making?
You're rolling dex each time. So roll another one.
I'm
You hear
frustrated
Zach
with you.
call out, "Good luck."
That is a success by 1.
My heck.
I'll also
Zach.
say it has me. Yeah, just so they know there is something coming.
I don't want to hear that, dude.
Fright check.
All right.
Don't say it,
Sean,
Lauren.
fright check. No, I was going to do that anyway.
No.
Fail by
I'm
2.
unconscious. I have
Fail?
to control
Be on
Alright.
my
somehow.
team.
So, fail by what?
2.
All right. Add another 2 to that because I was going to say -2. So,
4.
so fail by 4, and then roll 3d6.
Oh, that was wonderfully high.
That's how dead you are.
Total of 18.
18.
Oh my gosh.
All right. As
Sean's gonna
you
jump back in as a
feel
survivor.
something
Stop it,
constrict on either side of your waist, you feel something sharp, like rows of sharpness, penetrating your suit along the part of the constriction as it squeezes tight, impaling you with several small stab wounds. You thrash in the water, get a mouthful of whatever is in the water, and have a spike of fear as you pass out.
Oh, good. I'm unconscious.
Yes.
That's much better than being unconscious for this.
When you
Lauren was also facepalm the whole time. I couldn't see from where I was.
as you look back, as you're trying to struggle to get Julia in, you hear one last splash and a choked off gurgling scream as Zach disappears beneath the water, and then there's complete silence.
Ooh. Tell me what I'm rolling because I rolled real well.
You're rolling another fright check.
Great, that's what I thought. I succeed by 5.
Great. You resume struggling to shove Julia into the corridor.
So that's another dex roll.
Leave me.
And that's another success by 5.
Okay.
Get in the hole. I wish you'd wake up and help me. That's not your fault.
All right. So we have removed Sean.
Oh. Oh.
Because he's dead.
This was the brightest camera screen.
It's all
The
dark.
only thing she had to say.
Sean, you're welcome to join the general stream now, and can observe as things go. So, you what did you get on your dex roll for Julia?
A success by 5.
Okay. You go ahead. She's almost in. She's into the waist. You just need to push her one more time so that her feet are in, so that she doesn't slide back out. However,
that feels like a strength roll to me.
However, something clamps down on your foot from below the water.
Well, good for it.
You can try and break free, or you can try and push Julia in. Go ahead and roll your... make a decision. If you're going to try and help yourself, you'll have to roll against your Daredevil thing.
Well, I have a 6 damage resistance on my foot. So, in a meta decision, I'm going to shove Julia into the hole. I'm not going to try to be as delicate.
All right, go ahead and roll a strength.
Thank you. Don't roll too well, though. Because that could be extra bad. That was a success by 5 again.
Julia,
Wait.
you take
Yes, it was.
okay. You take 1 point of damage, Julia.
Hold on, I did my math super wrong. That was a success by 3.
That's fine. Just the damage is from using strength instead of dex.
I'm cool with that. I just maybe embarrassing myself with my math failure will
Okay.
bring
Julia
mercy.
disappears into the conduit. Roll me another fright check for your autophobia, not the general one.
Oh, that's a crit. That's a 3. How?
Whoa!
All right.
These dice have
You
been
are
blessed. Gotta give
filled
my
with
wife a hug.
determination. Lauren, roll a health check.
Zach is with you in spirit.
Yeah.
All right. And I meet it.
Yes. This is the freaking time.
All right. Julia, you wake up in a cramped service conduit surrounded by cabling. You hear the thrashing and splashing of Wayne behind you, and you can see the lights of various electronics and status indicators ahead of you down the long shaft, which is partially flooded and filled with things that you recognize as being electrically charged. Wayne,
You could be in the water, so.
you have something on your foot. It is your turn to act. How are you going to deal with this situation?
Where's my wrench?
It is on your belt. You can easily grab it.
All right, I'm just gonna reach down, grab it off my belt, and then
All right.
stab down.
Mario, go.
Go ahead and roll a swing or a thrust with your wrench. And
We're
it's
gonna
going
do
to be at a
thrust.
-2 because
Oh my
you
gosh.
can't see what you're doing.
Oh, I met it. Oh, oh my gosh.
All right, roll damage.
Remember last night when I was like, "Hey, David, just so you know, don't forget about the ocean fear that I have." Oh, not feeling great. That's 8. That's max.
All right. You feel your wrench connect solidly with something below the water, and the pressure on your foot disappears. You have a round to take an action unencumbered.
I am going into the van.
All right.
Make some room.
Roll a. Let's see.
How high above the water level is it, or is it at the water level?
It's like a couple feet, so it's not
Okay.
too hard. It's like pulling yourself out of the pool. Well, it's a little bit harder than that, but
Yeah.
still it's within reach. You don't have to scramble up. Go ahead and roll a strength check. You're able to get purchase. It's a sharp edge. You just gotta haul yourself in. All right. You
Where's
heave
the air
yourself
note?
up out of the water with the strength of absolute fear, and simultaneous, you heave yourself up to where you're like, "Ugh," and then you shove Lauren out so that you've got room and pull yourself in. Lauren, you go tumbling forward and then fall open into the more open part of the corridor. That's about 2.5 to 3 feet square. So there's enough room to kind of
Alright.
crouch in this space. There's cabling everywhere. This is meant for emergency maintenance on conduits, but this isn't an intentional crawl space, right? This isn't where people go. But you both heave yourself up into that space. Ben, you see that she's conscious now. She looks extremely disoriented.
Well, hey there, Julia.
What?
You breathing? I see.
Cough, cough.
Right. Let's let's go ahead and I'm just gonna switch the valve on her air mask. Be like, let's not use all of that. And I'm gonna take a minute to just.
Okay. You sit back and you hear a quiet splash from where you just vacated. Something black starts to come
Yep.
around the edge.
Gonna get up and say, "All right, Julia, pick a direction for me."
What about Zach?
He'll don't worry about him. He's he made his own way. We have to gotta keep moving.
Okay, do I see the thing?
Roll perception. Zach went. One of the comments in the chat is Zach went to the farm.
I
Farm
succeed
sounds
by
nice.
7.
Oh, yes, you do. That's the worst time for that.
I have really good perception.
That's gonna be helpful.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
I'm
So
getting my
yeah,
wrench
you
back
see
out.
that.
Okay. I'm gonna like jerk back and can we like push the panel back so it's blocking?
No, this is just a
This
conduit.
is a
This
separate
isn't.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, this is built in.
Oh,
There's
it's
no
not
hatch
the
here.
it's not the
This
one that he got with
this
the
was
wrench.
option 1 that I
Right.
said maybe not. And
Okay. Let's go.
then pick it. Go.
All right. You begin scrambling down the passage.
Mhm.
Are
I
you
have the
trying
light,
to
so
move?
I'm going backwards.
Okay. Is this like full speed? Like how are you proceeding? Describe for us your movement through this conduit.
Let me roll a fright check because that determines that. Because I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I failed by 1, so I'm just going.
Okay.
I'm trying to aim for
was-
like the bigger spaces.
Okay. Also, we're gonna roll your outcome. So roll me 3d6
Yeah.
plus your -1 plus your penalty.
Okay.
You just got to make it out of here, Julia. I can't help. There comes a point where
19.
I don't say that out loud, but holy crap! All
Okay.
right, Julia has a panic
You are,
attack.
yeah, you're panicking. You run screaming, sit down and cry, or do something equally pointless. All right, so you're gonna go ahead and just, scream and start going down the corridor. She goes
Good.
charging down.
That's
She's ahead of
great.
you.
I was gonna go really fast backwards, whether or not I saw her moving quickly. So, but I am going backwards so that I can see
Okay.
the monster.
So you keep going backwards. You're going to see a glistening black surface.
Mhm.
So think tapioca, right? This is kind of like this bumpy, undulating,
Mhm.
shiny liquid surface, but pitch black.
Great.
And that starts to fill the opening.
Mhm.
And then you stumble backwards as the shaft starts moving downwards, and you lose sight of the hatch behind you.
I'm gonna go down this thing like a slip and slide. Let's go.
Yep. You're
Yeah.
just. She
I'm
has already
steering into
stumbled
this.
forward, so she's
Yeah.
just down the shaft, and both of you go sprawling out into this maintenance room, and you hear the thrumming hum of the station's reactor nearby, just filling the room with a vibrating sense of energy. You're essentially in like a 10 by 8, tool closet.
Mhm.
You've just come out of the shaft at the top of the room, tumbled out
Mhm.
onto the floor. Go ahead and roll dexterity, each of you, to land safely. Ben, you have a +4 because your suit's still intact and protecting you from most of the damage.
I succeed
Hi.
by 2.
Okay, you
If
managed to
Anna
land in a
is
not broken way, and you're okay.
If Anna's still in the call, I'd like to say that I love you and thank you for these dice, because that was a success by 9.
Dang.
Yeah,
And your hair looks great.
it does. Like Iron
All
Man,
right.
even in the suit, you know?
All right, you guys managed to land safely. You don't break an arm or anything as you come sprawling out in the closet. Lauren, your suit is filled with water. Yeah, it's not filled, but yeah, like it's all damp and gross inside.
Sloshing.
There's jagged rips in the place where you were hit by the machinery. You've got pretty severe wounds. The water has kind of washed a lot of the blood. You're not like gushing, but you're bloody, and leaving a trail wherever you brush up against things. Ben, your suit is somewhat the worse for wear. Please roll me a perception check.
I was gonna do that anyway. All right, that is just barely a success by 1.
You are going to notice that there are some small punctures on your boot where whatever it was grabbed onto you. So you're not 100%. You'll be able to operate in, low oxygen, but you'll be losing to that leak.
Great.
So just be aware.
Cool.
Okay, you guys are in the room. You hear something slithering through the vents. You look up. It's not moving nearly as fast as you guys were, but you can see something black spreading along the vent. You can't tell if it's just a big object that's filling it and occluding the light, or if it's some sort of ooze or quantum destabilization. But whatever it is making steady progress towards your location.
How insulated are my gloves?
They're pretty thick. They're not rated for arc flash, but they
Very
give
few
you
things
some
are.
protection.
Arc flash is scary for a reason. How about my wrench?
Your wrench is absolutely not insulated.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That would only be helpful.
There are tools rated for electrical work. You don't carry them.
Gotcha. And we are in. Is this the reactor room?
You are in a maintenance room somewhere near
Yeah.
the reactor, and the only reason you can tell that is because it's like vibrating in your bones uncomfortably.
Are there any lovely sharp pieces of metal nearby? Anything?
Roll a scrounge check.
Oh.
So you start looking around. I don't think you have scrounge, Ben.
That's
do you?
an
I
11.
have scrounge.
I'm gonna say out loud, I failed that, whatever it was.
Okay. So you look around for something sharp. You're like, I don't know. Yeah, you're like, I can't find anything. And
I want to say out loud, I'm trying to let's break one of those cables and stop our.
I need to cut the cable. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll scrounge.
Let's create some problems behind us.
Oh. I rolled a 4. Is that a crit success?
Yes, it is.
Lauren. Yes.
You find you find a large utility knife. Like Leatherman. One of the bigger ones.
I found a knife.
I was really hoping it would be like an extra panel of sheet metal or something I could throw.
Well, yeah. So you find that, and then you will also find like some industrial cable cutters.
Dang.
Basically like pruning shears, but for cables, and they're a little bit more complicated on the end.
Are they
also
insulated?
Use for crimping. Yes, they're insulated.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna grab those, and I'm gonna start cutting cables.
All right,
around the, like, not around the opening, but like.
Roll me 1d6, so I know how lucky you are.
Can I like roll to like see what he's
2,
destroying?
David.
Yeah,
you're not gonna stop me.
Go ahead and roll your ship systems, Lauren.
I failed by 1.
Okay,
We have an O2.
We're fine.
You can't really get a good look. He's up in there cutting stuff. The second cable you touch sparks wildly, and you can see
Awesome.
electricity start arcing in the gap. The shears are blown out of your hands, but you don't take any actual damage.
Oh, all right. Let's get out of here.
All
Yeah,
right.
while he's doing that, I'm gonna be looking for a way out.
Okay. There's a door.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Uh,
locked
I'm
from the
opening that
inside,
door.
so it'll take you a second to unlock it.
I'm gonna ask Julia if she still has that knife on her.
Yeah.
Great, keep it.
Yeah.
All right. Julia, you go to open the door. It's locked.
Here I come.
You you start messing with the lock. Wayne comes slamming into the door. Go ahead and roll strength.
That's a succeed by 6.
All right. The door slams open, and you find yourself in the power complex for the station.
All right.
The
Shut the
humming
door.
thrum of the
Behind
power
us.
fills the air, and you're vaguely worried about if there's any sort of problem with the reactor. You might be receiving a lethal dose of radiation as you speak, but there's not much you can do about it, really.
I'm gonna ask Julia where the way out of this room would be,
Let me roll.
because it would be easier to sit for a second and think about what we're doing before
I
we start
succeed
screwing with the
by
reactor.
8.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, Julia.
This is where I pulled my weight.
Oh, I'm so happy you're still alive.
Julia,
I really wish Zach was still here too.
What? What about Zach?
Just get us a way out. One thing at a time, Julia.
so the hang on.
It's rare that I'm ever in such immediate danger in one of these games to start doing something like cutting cables that close to the reactor. That was
So,
awesome. I had so
you
much fun
come
with that.
slamming out the
Sweet.
door. Lauren, you're like Julia knows where it's not a map of the station so much as a diagram of how the reactor connects to all the various areas, but it will serve almost as well. And so you pull Wayne over to the main command console for the reactor and start pulling up the power diagrams for the ship, which give you an idea of where you are and how you might get there. You can either travel through the conduits like you did with this, which comes with its own dangers, but gives you a direct path, or there are various ways forward. As you do this, you guys, there will be a sudden drop, just a small little divot in the power output as whatever was coming down the shaft encounters the trap that you left behind. You see a billow of blackish greenish smoke coming out from that room, but nothing else seems to follow it. You seem to be temporarily unpursued, but time will tell. As you examine the diagrams, anyway, yeah. So you see the power checkout and do that. What were you going to say, Ben?
I was going to ask Julia to maybe take a look at the health of the reactor.
Yeah.
Probably less intelligently than that at this point. Are we going to
It's
die
like,
by being in this room? Yeah.
Okay, roll a ship systems check.
Alrighty. I succeed by 2.
The reactor is not being maintained and hasn't been for several days, but the fail safes are still working and it's functioning properly. For now, given time, it will start to do. We're going to go ahead and do a
but what amount of
quiz here?
A quiz?
Yeah, we're going to do, it's not a quiz. We're going to do a vote.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
You guys go ahead and continue. So what are you You're in the reactor room. You are temporarily given. You've got a minute to think. What's the plan?
Am I gonna keep bleeding out if I don't do something?
No, we're not going to get
Okay.
that detailed. We're
Okay,
horror
cool.
rules.
All right.
Adrenaline will keep you alive until the monster kills you.
I want to look for a functioning ship because, like, where are we gonna go
Ooh,
otherwise?
yeah, if power is outputting to one of the docking stations or something.
Okay. If there is a ship, it would be one in one of the 3 remaining docks. You nuked one of them on your way in. Don't even have
And
to roll
then,
for that one.
yeah, so, but there's no way to see what's there and what state it might be in.
Not from the console controlling the reactor. No, you'd have to go to the bridge if you want that sort of information. If you had a hacker, you could reroute so that the OS for the
Yeah.
bridge is being repeated here, but he's preoccupied right now and not available to assist. This occurs to you again that Wayne's not telling you what happened to Zach. Go ahead and roll me a fright check. Now that you have a moment to think about the situation.
I rolled a 5. I'm getting through it.
Okay.
Succeed by 5.
All right, good.
Thank
So
you.
we have the results of that quiz. So that's good.
Just start screaming off into a hallway.
That's exactly what needed to happen.
It's great.
All right. I would like everyone to do the next vote as well
Oh.
for what happens next here.
David, you're sitting back far enough occasionally that you're completely vanishing into darkness.
I don't feel like I should, like...
Oh no, he's gone! And then his smile is all you see in the darkness. That was really freaky there, dude. Nice.
All
right, I feel comfortable again. Thank you.
All right. Ooh, I like this. All right, one more result to get. Yes. All right.
Oh no.
Good choice.
Ooh.
Good choice. All right. Where are you going now?
Can we send out like a... I'm still assessing options. Can we send out like a distress signal,
Good.
but not
We
from
should-
here?
Not from here.
I was gonna say we should.
You could
do
start the
that.
reactor overloading, which might automatically trigger distress signal, but then you would have the reactor overloading.
Is there anything useful that could be done here?
Tell us what to do, David.
General reactor knowledge.
If you believed that the reactor was fueling part of the problem, you could cut power to that part of the station, but you don't have a part of the station that you would want to cut off yet.
Okay, could I analyze the power outputs in different parts of the station to try and determine if there's an easily visible
Yeah.
source of the problem?
Go ahead and roll a ship systems -2.
Okay.
Since
And
you don't know what you're looking for.
I have an idea
Nice.
that Wayne wouldn't have, but she would probably.
Okay.
Yes, be my
That
brain.
maybe there's a way to ping a little jolt of power to where the docking stations are, like a small amount, and based on the response, could she tell if there was anything docked there? Like if there's an outflow from the docker, or if it
If
would
something
just bounce
was
back?
plugged in drawing power, that would
Mhm.
tell you that there's something there. But she wouldn't need to ping; it would just be drawing power. So,
Okay.
go ahead. What'd you get, Lauren?
I succeed by 4.
Succeed by 4.
Woo.
All right.
Yay.
There you discover 2 things. One, something is drawing power in docking station Bravo.
It's the original incursion. We're just going to head straight into the monster.
And yeah, every other area is drawing power that you would associate with, something being on idle, basic maintenance power. So everything's a little lower than you would expect because normally it's supposed to be people drawing power here. But the systems are all still going. There is one area that seems to be pulling more power than the bare minimum to
The
stay
aquarium.
active. And that is the research labs on the
Of
station
course
used
it
for deep
is.
space research.
How close are the research labs to Docking Bay Bravo?
They're
Just
on the
asking.
way.
Important. No. Okay.
Good job, David. Bad job, us.
All right, I'm gonna
Or bad
relay all
time.
of this marvelous information.
No offense, Julia, but I hate scientists.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Um,
I'm gonna get my suit off because it's useless.
yeah. Would there be any damage reduction left with the state that it's in, David?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I have bad memories of this suit.
Yeah. I am going to say, okay, well, that sounds like our best bet. It doesn't explain why a power surge, why there were so many problems when we docked with this station. So I'm assuming that even if we got to whatever was in the docker, we couldn't just, bounce out and be okay. I feel like there's a step that we might have to do between now and then. So maybe cutting power around there would be
You want to
helpful.
walk in the dark past the research lab full of the black oozy thing.
Yeah, so here's where I'm at. Do we want to risk an easier shot to the docking bay and maybe explode? Or have the ship blow up before we get there if something smart is doing that? Or do we want a better shot at getting out if we make it?
When you put it like that, all right, I'm gonna try and cut power to the research area and on the way to the docking area, which is conveniently
Like
the
a
same
hard cut.
corridor.
All right.
Not like if we need to go flip a shut off lever or something, I'm down.
All right, Julia, you find 4 places where you're going to have to physically pull the couplings in the power area. Do you guys go do each one together, or do you split up
Yes.
to start pulling them?
Never split up.
I was gonna split up.
Nope. We're good. I got you.
Okay. Julia, you're explaining, the procedure. The power area is, it's not like Star Trek where there's like the one room and then the other one room. This is a large reactor complex. There are several levels and off rooms off the central pillar where the actual reactions are taking place that break rules of nature that man was not meant to meddle with. So there are a handful of cutoffs if you want to cut off the 4 sectors between here and your ultimate destination. So you go ahead, you move to the first one. As you start climbing the ladder up to the next one, Wayne, you feel numb in one of your legs.
Yeah.
I wonder which leg it is.
Okay, just not like completely numb, just kind of that shake it off numbness.
So I will
Probably a stress reaction.
Would I actually think that?
I don't know. Roll me an intelligence.
Oh, don't do that.
-2 because you don't do first aid.
That is met.
Wow, good job.
I know,
You
I'm
are
not-
you can think whatever Ben thinks.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn to Julia. And I'm gonna say, okay, Julia. So just make sure that we're cutting power on either side, right, of the docking bay so that power can't surge either way. So whatever was after us, bit or poked my foot, and my leg is starting to go numb.
What?
So, just want to let you know.
That's
Probably good that we fried it on our way out, though. That was a really clutch finding those wire cutters. That was pretty solid.
Yeah. That's good. Okay. No, that's not okay.
Well,
No.
let's.
Okay. As you're talking, you reach the first cutoff.
Okay. I'm gonna throw it.
Okay, roll me a
Like-
strength check.
Okay.
Ooh, but I never suffer shock penalties when I'm injured, so.
So wait,
Sure,
so
that will
is
come
it gonna? We're not gonna be in darkness when I turn this off, are we? Because I want to take a look at his leg.
No, this area, you're not cutting off power to the reactor complex.
All right,
That's
just
called
making
shutting off
like
the reactor.
I mean like the lights are connected to
Yeah.
light bulbs.
That's a fair question.
It is.
Just
The answer is no.
The
waiting for sneak
spookiness
attacks from
factor
David.
could have said yes there. All right.
Something else might shut the lights off.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
met it. I met it.
All
You met
right.
it,
All
David.
8 of my strength.
She struggles a little bit to pull the lever down. Like this is, a
Oh,
lever.
well, I could.
No,
that
I'm
chonks
doing
down, and you
My
see the
arms
power
work.
reading next to it go.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. Now I'm looking at your leg because I'm not getting out of here alone.
Hey, let's do the other important one
No.
that we need to do.
No.
Fine.
No.
Okay.
This is a thing that I can fix, maybe.
Do you take the suit off?
How big's the hole?
It's like a needle.
I have a knife. Could duct tape.
Yeah, I was gonna say, might have to cinch my leg anyway. It's too late. It's been too long. There's no way I could cut off a flow of a poison or a toxin, or venom. There you go. Yeah, just cut it.
Okay. So, well, David, is it like? Can I roll first aid to figure out what I can do before we start cutting into things?
Yeah, you can roll a first aid just based on symptoms.
Okay. All right. I succeed by 7.
Ooh.
Okay.
Let's hope first aid continues to be important and doesn't become irrelevant for your experience.
So, your first aid is generally more along the things of getting shot or cut or electrified or chemical burns, things that happen when you are borrowing pieces of a spaceship that someone else doesn't want you to borrow things from. So, biology, biochemistry stuff is not your bit. But you do know that not all toxins are fast moving. There is a chance that a tourniquet or amputation might stop something that was infiltrating, but you have no idea what it is in the first place. So it could be already too late. It could just be, like getting stung by a hornet or being bitten by a spider where it's going to be uncomfortable, but you just recover from it. You're not sure really what you're dealing with. If you wanted, but you do know that the best place would be the labs. You don't have the equipment necessary to evaluate his condition and any sort of stuff. You've got a first aid kit that's for burns. You don't have any way of testing his blood or of, creating any sort of, you don't have any antivenin. You're just not equipped for this situation. So you would need to go to the medical facilities or the lab facilities if you wanted to actually address this effectively. Or you can just hope it's fine and give him a Tylenol and do your best.
I could apply a tournament, though.
Yeah.
That would
If
make it
that's
really
on
hard
for
for me to
very
walk.
long, he'll lose the leg regardless.
Yeah.
But it could save his life.
Are you
But it could
telling
kill him
me
if he needs to run?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Okay. Where are medical facilities relative to the research lab and the docking bay?
They are adjacent. They're part of the lab's specific section.
So, Julia, I'd say.
Wayne.
So, I've had a pretty good day until now. So I'm feeling just gonna coast off that last little bit of happy real quick and just say, all right, it's most important that we get off the station. If I'm venomed, I don't know if it's worth it to try and go make an anti-venom in possibly the place that the monsters came from or whatever. It could just be a squid that was in the aquarium. We really don't know, but we'll know as we're walking past. I say, let's just break for the ship.
I want to put a tourniquet on.
How about when we don't have to run through the hall?
If I don't put a tourniquet on, you could die.
And if you do, we both could.
All right, fine. Have it your way. All right. I'm going to the next thing.
If we get to the lab and it looks fine, then we'll deal
Tell
with
me
it.
if the symptoms worsen.
Oh, you bet I will.
Tell me
Yep.
if the symptoms worsen. At the very least, so I know if you're gonna drop on me.
Yeah, no, that's good.
See, there we go. Persuasion.
Yeah.
Okay. You continue to move through the power area, pulling it shut, pulling each circuit, opening each circuit to cut off the power.
As we're walking, can I just roll a search to see if I see anything useful?
Yeah, go ahead. Search. Search is good.
I succeed by 9. No, I succeed by 10.
Okay.
Julia, you are the hero of the
The
story.
shiny things, they are mine.
All
The
right.
protagonist.
You find a defense holdout for defending the reactor against boarders, and you're both able to pick up a rifle.
Heck yeah.
It's an energy rifle because projectile weapons aboard ships tend to punch holes in things. Neither of you are proficient with this type of weapon, but it is intended for simple use by engineers who may not be trained. So you'll be
Go
able to do
and
your
pew.
best. Okay.
What's the
Ben,
penalty for using it?
it's going to be a dex -2 to use the weapons. So you're both aware that it's not likely you're going to hit anything unless it's really close, but it's better than nothing. You also find a pack of power cells that are with the rifles, which are used to charge them. You've got pockets enough for 2 each if you care to take them with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You haven't the slightest idea how many shots you've got in these rifles or what sort of condition they're in. It's clear that even before the station was in its current state, these have been sitting here for a long time, just like the emergency kits in your closet at home. They haven't been checked on. But should be better than nothing.
Did
So
they
you're
have
able.
any? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Do they have adrenaline in a first aid kit or anything?
There is a first aid kit, but it looks like
I
it's
have a
been
first
slowly
aid
picked
kit.
at and used over time to where it's got like some gauze in it now.
I have
Okay.
one though.
Yeah.
Do you
Lauren
have an
has a first
adrenaline
aid
shot
kit.
Do I?
or an epi?
I feel like that should have been covered in my roll.
I feel like epi
Maybe.
would have.
Yeah, you've got an EpiPen equivalent, some future version
I'm gonna
in there.
I'm gonna ask if I can hang on to that. Cool.
And the reason, Ben, that you're asking this is your leg is now numb to the hip, and the foot's completely numb.
I'm gonna let her know, and then I'm gonna twirl the epi in my fingers and then stab myself in the leg.
All right. It's deeply unpleasant. That kind of adrenaline shot's not great, but you feel more nimble. Seems to take the edge off a little bit. Some of the feeling comes back to your leg. You guys finish up pulling the last one, and you hear another set of sparks and arcing electricity from your conduit trap as whatever it is tries to get through that area again.
Go team. Holy crap.
The sparking, instead of stopping immediately, continues, and the lights begin to flicker.
Yep. Good, we're done.
All right,
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
After you, and I switch on my headlamp as I assume, proceed into darkness.
You begin moving into the corridors. It's completely dark and quiet. Your headlamp is still working. Lauren, you don't have a light. You have to follow him because he needs to be in front so that the light actually works.
Actually, at this point, I'd probably just give her my helmet.
Taking your helmet?
My suit.
You shut up. And
my suit isn't
walk
sealed.
ahead.
Can I detach the flashlight from my helmet?
Yeah,
go.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna pull it off and hold it in my hand. Be like,
okay.
If I slow down, it's important you know where you're going. I plan on coming with you, but just let's be practical.
All right. So what's marching order? Who's in front?
I'm in front, ready to punch things.
All right. What pace are you setting?
Mid jog.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a health check.
Yeah, get the blood circulating. Yay.
Oh, that was close. All right, succeed by 2. My die was spinning. And it was like almost another 6. And I was like, nope, it's a 1. I was freaking out.
Lauren, you can't see him well, but you can kind of see his silhouette. He's clearly favoring one leg. He's not walking in the straightest of lines, but he's making a good pace as you follow behind. You start hurrying down the corridor. You're not really 100% sure where you're going. You just know the general direction. You know where all the wires are supposed to be, but it's not as helpful as you might imagine. You start moving through the corridor. Ben, where is your light? What are you doing as you walk down? The corridor is about 20 feet wide, 10 feet high. So a nice wide Broadway. There's passageways that branch off one way or the other. There's offices and other places. But largely you're moving out of the central section, out one of the spokes towards the labs, and then next to the labs is your destination. So as you move through the spoke, describe how you're proceeding, how your group is moving through this area.
We know that the research lab and the way out is coming up?
Yep.
All right, cool. I'm going to pull out my wrench. Keep it in my left hand because I'm right-handed and I want to ready to punch something quickly because I'm more likely to land that. And just have a little check-in with Julia.
Okay.
Just say, all right, we're coming up on it. How do you want to play this? Game plan, Doc.
Can I roll stealth?
As Julia opens her mouth to respond,
of course, you monster.
You hear footsteps running up the corridor behind you from the way you came.
It's Zach.
It's not Zach.
Hear a voice call out, Julia!
Nope. Julia, go.
Zach?
No, Julia. Zach's dead.
Where
Go
are
to
you?
the ship.
You did Zach. That's Zach.
No, it's not. Zach got killed by a monster to save you. Don't waste that. Go to the ship.
Julia, roll a fright check.
Oh no.
And I'm like
Nope.
grabbing her shoulders, like looking her in the eyes.
What'd you get, Julia?
Okay, so I got an 18, so I failed by 8.
The
Okay.
critical fail is what
I
you
am
did.
going to.
I got a 16. Sorry, I failed by 6.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I rolled.
Hang on.
When I get a chance. Okay, fine.
Yep.
You
Okay,
go.
give me your. So you failed by 6, and then your penalty is.
I failed by 4. And my penalty is 5. Sorry, I panic mathed there.
Fitting.
So that's 9 plus 3d6.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Julia, where are you?
Ah, stop. 19.
All right. That's great.
Julia!
All right. You are beyond rational thought. You are having a panic attack.
Third time.
This is the same roll you did before. So you believe what you wish was true, and you have a visceral emotional reaction without thought. So what is that going to be for you?
I'm gonna yell Zach and go back for him.
All right, Ben.
So I will say that before any of this happened, I said I was grabbing her by the shoulders.
Yep. No, you've got your hands on her shoulders.
And I succeeded by 9 to grab her over my shoulder and run to the ship.
All right. So you're talking to her face to face. You hear Zach's voice call out.
Mhm.
You try and talk her out of it. You see her face just, shut down. She's like, no, that's Zach. We've got to go back and fight. And she starts screaming and trying to run that way. You grab her. Julia, you need to either roll a strength or dexterity
Okay,
to
well, can I
avoid
roll?
being grappled. And you get
They're
a
both terrible.
+2
Oh no.
for madness-induced strength.
Do I have to pick the stronger skill?
Yes, you are trying legitimately to go save Zach. You need to bring him out of here.
You need to roll real well.
By 5.
All right, what was your success margin, Wayne?
It was 9.
Okay. All right. He's got a hold of you. He sweeps you off your feet. You're struggling to try and go back, and you're screaming out, Zach! Where are you going, Wayne?
We are running to where the ship should be, and I'm going to throw her in there and hit eject.
Dex -3 as the numbness creeps up your leg into your waist.
Great, let's do it. That's the worst roll I've done all night. That is a fail by 3.
Okay. You stumble and go sprawling. Roll me a... you don't have to roll anything. I'm assuming you just hang on to Julia. You don't let her go flying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the shock will knock some sense into her.
You crash to the floor after 10 feet. You start sprinting. Your leg fails you. You go sprawling out and you crash to the floor and you land in something black and sticky, which adheres to you and starts moving up your face.
Cool.
Julia, roll an IQ to see if you're still panicking.
You're about to start again if you aren't now.
I
No,
met it.
actually, you're panicking for like a couple minutes. It says so.
Okay.
Oh well, she
But
met it, so that's cool.
After
Barely.
4 minutes in game, so it's been like 30 seconds. After another 3.5 minutes, you will be able to do something besides try and scream and run back the way you came.
I have a +3. Oh, that's health rolls. Never mind. We're good. It'll be really hard to get me to stop, but I'll slow down for sure.
Okay. Roll me another health roll, please.
Me?
Yep, and include your hard to kill.
Awesome. That's a succeed by 7.
All right. Now
Dang.
roll me an IQ.
That's not. That's not gonna do it, dude. No. We're good. We made it by.
Oh my gosh.
3.
Okay. You realize that the black stuff you landed in is coming out of you.
Ah.
And you
Cool.
feel a moment, when you're doing this in
Uh-huh.
class and you're trying to you have one of those moments and you fight yourself back awake. That was your health roll.
Okay.
You cough and something black splatters on the decking in front of you.
Great. We're running.
Okay. You stumble back to your feet and try again. Roll me a dex check.
Please don't stop failing me. Oh,
Okay.
heck yeah. That's a success by 6, dude. This is the best I've ever rolled in my life at anything. Any game of Yahtzee, any game of D&D as the DM or the player. I have never
All right.
rolled this one.
You struggle to your feet despite Julia's thrashing around. Julia, roll me a strength or dex. And then
I'm turning
Ben,
into a
roll me
sludge
another
monster.
dex.
This one's gonna suck.
Succeed by 1.
Okay, you have a -3, Ben. The 2 for your numbness and a 1
fail
for
by
her
4.
thrashing. All right,
Ah.
you crash to the floor again. You're making distance though. Just up and at it again.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. You continue to stumble down the corridor, struggling, leaning on the walls, gasping as
Tell
you
me when
try and
Julia
move as quickly as you can.
snaps out of it would be great.
You no longer hear footsteps running behind you, but you do hear Wayne's voice, but there's more than one, and it's no longer saying things that you can fully understand.
You mean Zach?
Yeah, Zach, sorry. Zach.
Okay.
And the parts where his voice becomes garbled and is speaking nonsense, that's the part that Wayne understands the most.
Hmm.
It's all nonsense to Julia, though. Julia, you finally come to as Zach rolls me another health check minus
Wayne?
with the 3. Wayne. Wayne rolls me another health check with the hard to kill bonus
We are Zach.
as you slam up
Ooh!
against the door to the labs.
This is not where I want to stop. I want to make that abundantly clear. That's
No, but
a
this is
success by 10.
okay.
I'll point a
You
camera at these.
forcefully keep your head up and your mind where it's supposed to be. You're running on pure willpower at this point. Like your body's everything you do, you have to think consciously about. There's nothing's easy. You slam into the door frame and the door is closed and not powered, so someone is going to have to crank that open.
All right.
You're going to have to put Julia down if you want to work the door.
I'm gonna be like, are you gonna chill?
She stopped screaming. She's just crying quietly at this point. Julia, you are under control. You're just traumatized and having a bad time.
Put me down.
All right. All right, Julia, I'm gonna ask you 2 things. 1, don't look at me. 2, when I open this door, you go for the ship. Got it?
Open the door.
Roll strength.
Wrench time. Let's
I'm
go.
gonna help too if I can.
No.
That's a success by 3.
Technically, Lauren, you're below the health threshold to where you're actually getting
am I?
penalties on your dex and strength. I forgot to apply. So, you're not helping anyone. All right, you wrench that door open. The door is probably busted now, but you don't really care.
Go.
It's open. Now what?
And I give her the flashlight. Like I lower it down to her It's like you're going first. You need it.
Okay. As I'm gonna try and support you, like, here, I'll help you walk.
Nope. You're good. I can walk. We're good. Run.
Can I roll perception?
You hear like 6 Zacks call out from behind, and they say, "We're finding you."
Oh.
Yo, Julia, for real.
All right, I'm gonna grab
This is a heavy
Wayne's
door.
arm and pull him behind me.
All right, you move into it. The rest of the station has been pristine. This area looks like a stampede of rhino and elephants have been through. Everything is smashed and thrown against the wall. And several of the doors have ooze creeping out from behind the seams for the different labs and different areas. And you start trying to make your way through. Go ahead and roll me a spaceship science systems -2 to try and navigate the lab based on where you would expect how things to be laid out.
I met it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
You start moving through. There are puddles of something on the ground. It's not the same ooze that you saw, but it's still black and it seems to ripple by itself as you push through the labs, stepping over equipment. And as you push open one of the next doors, you find yourself face to face with as if a giant spherical shape had been just vaporized out of the ship. The floor, you can see the level below and the level below that, as well as what's above, and there's just this gulf between you and the exit to the next part of the ship. And you realize that the bottom of this spherical void is filled with shapes of white bone.
Ah.
Roll fright checks.
That is
Oh,
honestly
no. I'm really
comical. And
bad at those.
I say as I try not to freak out. We're good.
Oh heck. I failed by 4.
Oh, good grief.
Okay, you know what to do.
9 plus
How far is it, David?
12.
Okay. Julia starts vomiting and is unable to move for a few moments. There is a path around one side that you can try and make your way through, but it's slick and unstable. You might fall down into where the bones are.
How far is it
The gap?
over the gap?
Let's say 16, 18 feet, somewhere in that range.
That's not throwable.
Don't tell the elf.
Shoot.
As you stand, some of the bones start to move underneath.
That's hilarious.
And you can see that where they're connected, there are strands of that black tar-like substance connecting them. They're not
Sweet.
getting up in like human skeletons.
Yeah.
It's just kind of this articulated thing.
Gotcha.
Bound by black ooze.
All right. Same deal as before. Let's go, Juliet. So
right.
I'm gonna.
Okay, you start making your way around. Are you doing? It's the space is too narrow for you guys to be doing it together. You'll have to move single file.
I thought I had to carry her.
No, she's just vomiting. So
okay.
And it's not, eternally. It's just takes a minute. Roll a health check, Lauren.
Like my hand is against her back, like
right.
scrunching up her shirt, her shirt, like lifting her. And
okay, so you've got a grip on the back of her shirt, and you're pushing her in front of you to make sure she's receding.
I'm rolling really bad.
Okay, she's still vomiting.
That's great.
Or at least
she
dry heaving at this point. Both of you, so you start making your way around. You're going to have to make several dex checks as you make your way around. Ben, you're at a -4 now.
That's not going to be great, David. I met it.
Okay. We're going to start. So, Julia, you go. For the next ones, we'll do the person in front, then the person.
Oh, sorry.
But
I was nervous.
Lauren, you're fine. You're just distracted. Go ahead.
Roll?
Yeah, you got to roll a dex check to keep your balance as you try and navigate the outside of this hole,
met it.
slipping past walls. All right. You guys start moving around. You're about 1/4 of the way to your destination. Go ahead and roll again.
Do I notice
Lauren
that
first.
she's more stable than me?
Oh, yeah, no, it's very clear that she's
I
more
let go
stable.
of her shirt. Just want to say that
No, I grabbed his
audibly.
arm. Oh, I was vomiting. Never mind.
Yeah.
I failed by
you're occupied.
Okay, you slip and you're unable to
when
move
I let
forward.
go.
You don't fall off, but you have to take a second to balance. Zach, go ahead, or Wayne, go ahead and roll yours.
That's good. We're good. 2.
Okay,
Plus 2.
you stay steady. You hear a door. You hear many footsteps coming from where you were, and you hear not Wayne's voice again.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, "Julia, why aren't you helping me? Please."
Shut up, Zach.
Please. Go ahead and roll dex again to keep moving.
I'll just be like, oh, you remember that time he ate like everybody's leftovers in one night? Oh, what an idiot. As a single tear drops down my face.
I took all the rest of them from you there.
That
All right.
is... You said I had a -4, David, right?
Hmm?
That's a failed by 4.
Okay. Julia, what'd you get?
Failed by 1.
Okay. You're not able to make any forward progress, but you managed to hang on to the wall that you're trying to navigate past to get to the next open part of floor when you hear Wayne slip and start sliding down behind you as he falls down into the pit.
Okay, I'm gonna try and grab him.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
All right. So that's going to be a grapple. So go ahead and, because you're not already touching him, go ahead and just roll the attack roll for a punch. Just instead of punching him, you're going to try and grab him.
Similar accuracy involved.
Yes,
That would be
similar
our
accuracy
skill
involved.
level, right? So
You have a
just-
-1 because he is in motion and moving at a good speed as he falls.
Can I roll to punch her hand out of the way?
You can roll dodge if she hits.
I succeeded by 3.
All right. So Ben, you got to roll a dodge or a parry.
Is there...
Your parry is a 12, and your dodge is an 8.
I'm trying to think of... There's no way that she can actually hoist me back up. Right?
Squint.
How much do I weigh? It doesn't say on my sheet.
Hey, you weigh 195 pounds.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus your suit.
Is there a way? I
Which-
guess part of my dex would be the ability to stop myself from sliding. So we're just gonna parry.
Okay. Yeah, your suit weighs another 15 pounds.
Yep. So I succeed by 3 to smack her hand intentionally.
Okay. You
and-
parry her attempt to grab you and finish sliding down into the bones below.
Oh, I'm gonna jump and like belly flop into them.
All right.
It's like, you're almost there. You better freaking keep going, I swear. I'm gonna be so mad if you stop right now.
All right. Roll me a health check with the hard to kill at a -4.
is there like an outcropping that I could yell at him to grab?
He used his action to not grab on to deflect you. You can't do both. Go ahead.
I thought that I didn't have the chance to grab on because I had failed my dex save and figured it was part of it, but that's okay. That's a success by 3 health roll.
Okay. So you're still in control of yourself. The ooze is creeping up your legs and also spilling out of your chest. starting to cough. Julia, what are you going to do?
I got it.
Throw me the light.
You should have the light already.
I don't think so. I thought you had the light.
No, he gave it to you.
Because you were leading because you knew your way through.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna just be swinging my. Ooh, actually no. The next time I get a chance, I'm pulling out my rifle and I'm gonna start
Ooh,
laying
yeah.
into the wall,
I'm gonna help.
the path along the side to get the Zax.
All right. He starts pulling out. He's keeping off the horde of whatever it is that's trying to come after you. You're halfway around the circle. What do you do, Julia?
Julia, I swear, go. Go, like, maybe go join, like, an actual scientific institution or something.
Can I roll my outlaw spacer? See if there's anything I can outlaw here.
Yeah, I guess. Go ahead.
Any man who falls behind is left behind.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you're gonna
By
get.
8.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? There's really no additional information that being a
Yeah,
pirate gives you, except for that it's pretty typical to you've had friends die before.
Yep. I'm
It's
gonna
part
book
of
it.
the life.
And the fact that I'm trying so hard to save you is probably pretty cool
Yes.
compared to other piratey experiences that we've had.
Makes me upset. All right, I'll be like, Wayne, thank you, and then I'm gonna run.
All right, roll me dex.
You
Wayne,
got it, friend.
you start laying into the door. You know, you're holding it off. You're trying to keep a hold of yourself. Roll a health check. Lauren, roll a dex check.
I'm gonna take this whole station by myself.
I rolled before you said you said it twice. All right. I fail by 3.
Does my penalty increase, David?
It increases by 1 each time I ask.
So now it's -5.
Mm-hmm.
Succeed by 2.
Okay. Lauren, again.
I failed by 2.
Hey. Ben, again.
No way! No!
Do this math very carefully.
That's a success by 1.
Okay, Lauren, roll again.
And that was a pretty good roll.
I succeed by 6.
All
Yes,
right.
you do. Yeah, Julia.
All right. You force your mind to focus and you push forward. You scrabble out. You reach the door.
And there's nothing there.
And the corridor stretches on before you towards the docking station. With
I
one
got it.
last glance behind you, you see Wayne laying fire in as his gun runs dry and he swaps cells. And you can see that the body below the waist is no longer human and he's slowly transforming into something else. Any last words, Wayne?
Don't worry, I plan on cleaning up this mess. I got it. Don't worry.
All right.
You got it,
What do you
Captain.
do, Julia?
Yep.
All right.
I gotta roll a will save not to cry. She called me Captain. That bolsters.
All right, Lauren, you run down the corridor. The sounds of gunfire abruptly cutting off behind you.
Heck.
Ben, you may join the stream.
Yay.
So, Lauren.
Yeah.
The corridor stretches out in front of you as you go running down towards the docks. Go ahead and roll me a health check and a fright check.
Okay.
Health check is for fatigue.
I meet it.
Okay, you lose 1 fatigue point. Okay.
Okay.
Your injured,
then-
bloodied body is on the verge of giving out.
Fear check.
Uh-huh.
Alright, here we go. Oh my gosh, I've succeeded by 1.
Excellent. You master yourself and push forward, and you arrive at the docking bay doors. Roll ship systems to override the door and activate the backup power for the docks.
Succeed by 3.
Okay. You rip off the panel next to the door and start wiring it, kicking in the emergency generators that are supposed to keep the dock from venting air into the atmosphere. Into space, I mean, when the power goes out or when there's a catastrophic failure of the system. And you wrench open the door. And there, sitting in the docks before you, is a question for the audience.
Oh my heck. Do Ben and Sean get to vote?
You know we do.
Are
Wait,
there
do
any
we
positive?
for real?
Back me up, guys.
Where's the link? I want to vote. Yes.
I'm not seeing a new vote.
Yep, I know. I didn't have one prepared for this, so I have to write it.
Oh wow, those are the options you guys had. None of those are good. So that one's not on you guys.
The gusto with which you selected them is, though.
Okay. So let's go ahead and see the vote.
Yeah, show me.
Oh my gosh.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, forgive my typos, but okay. 4 more votes.
Yes. Come on, yes.
Oh, a tie.
Monster
no!
Has
children.
everyone voted? Last
Everyone has
vote.
now voted.
No, the last vote, you have to vote for one of the 2 that's tied. You can't just throw your vote into the third bucket.
Wow.
All right. We can't have a tie. One more time. All right. Anyone left?
No, we're good. I'm happier with this round of us.
All right. Lauren,
Oh, by a
you
hair.
crash into the shuttle bay and you see 2 ships, both short-range shuttles, different models. Now, you know that some shuttles have FTL and some don't. There are 2 shuttles here. Which one do you get into? The one on the left that looks sporty, or the one on the right that looks like it's used for hauling, ore and cargo?
Can I do a ship sciences roll, or is this just a pick one?
Yes, you can do a ship sciences roll. If
Use
you're
that big
going
brain, Julia.
I succeed by 6. If
Yeah.
Okay. You're pretty sure that the ore hauler would have FTL.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright,
You scramble forward. Both ships are closed, and there are bloody handprints on the docking hatch and the console. You hear something slam into the bay door behind you as you hastily try and figure out how to get the ramp down so that you can board the ship. Roll me a fright check.
I love those. Hey, I succeed by 3.
All right. In this most extreme of circumstance, alone and the last remaining, you manage to keep it together and work on opening the ramp. Go ahead and roll a ship sciences -1 check.
Uh-oh. I don't think I know, I don't think I got that. Yeah, I failed by
Something rips the bay doors off its hinges. Do you look back or do you keep working on the ramp?
I'm gonna keep working on the ramp.
All right, roll again.
I succeed by 6.
All right. You stop and you get the ramp open. The ramp starts lowering as you hear something oozing and clattering behind you, an unpleasant combination of noises as you run up the ramp and hastily slam the close button as something scratches on the hull. You run towards the cockpit, I'm assuming. I mean, I guess you could go take a nap in the cabin. And try and remember how Wayne would start the ship up.
Oof.
Roll a ship sciences -2. Now, this is going to be an outlaw spacer -2.
Okay. I succeed by 3.
Okay. You get the ship started as the sounds against the docking hatch grow louder, and you carefully try to maneuver out of the bay, only to realize that the bay doors have not been opened yet.
So, what do I need to open the bay doors? Do I have to go out?
You can try going out. You can try ramming them. Could try
This
some
is an
sort of
old
hacker
ship.
nonsense.
Does this have, I'm assuming it doesn't have any weapons.
No.
Does it
It
have a place?
has mining lasers.
I'm gonna try and laser the thing.
All right. Roll spacer -2.
Would the lasers work on the door?
Are you going to stop and think about it?
Nope. So what am I?
You're rolling outlaw spacer. This is just your general. I've lived around ships. I kind of know how they work.
I meet it.
All right. You get the lasers going. They're not focused properly, and you probably wouldn't get a passing score from any miner coming by, but you leave jagged, melty holes, and you wave the ship around, trying to get a big enough space. And finally, you seem to have an open thing, and you're able to blast out of the docking bay. Go ahead and roll one more spacer.
Ooh, 4. That's a crit success, right?
All right. You grab hold of the ship's controls, jam the throttle full open, and blast out the doors into the depths of space, leaving
Woo!
the station behind.
Is there a thing on my ship?
Are you going to get out and check?
No, can I like check sensors or something?
It doesn't have a goop sensor. It's just a metal hole.
This is how horror stories end. Does it have like I'm gonna look and see if there's a virus affecting the systems.
Everything seems to be working the way that you'd expect.
All right, then I'm gonna go warp out of there.
All right. Because you're able to take your time, you're able to figure out, how the systems work and calculate a jump. You can, jump back to. There's the nearest station is several days travel from here. Or you could do a longer jump back to your scavengers headquarters. So, do you go for what's closest, or do you go for the headquarters, or do you just want to leave this all behind and take off in the opposite direction? Start somewhere fresh.
I just want to get to humanity.
All right. You lay in a course for the nearest station. Push the button. Watch the stars disappear into the twisting funnel of transwarp. And exhausted, eventually you make your way to bed and fall asleep. Thinking that, you might just well sleep the entire 4 days to the next place. And as you drift unconscious, it occurs to you, if there was something on the hole, how long would it take to get inside? Thank you for playing Fractured Space, everybody.
Thank you.
Good job, David.
Thank you.
Oh man.
Congratulations! Something
Lauren, you're the protagonist.
That was not my intention.
I knew I was gonna die very quickly. And was like, all right, I have one goal.
Big thanks to our players, Sean, Lauren, and Ben. Appreciate you putting yourselves through this for everyone's entertainment. And thank you to all of our audience for directing the story.
Yeah,
Yay.
it unfolded great.
Yeah, really good beats. Pacing was solid.
Yeah. And thank you to our DM.
Thank you, David.
Yes. All the work.
So the last question was as to what was being found in the bay, and the answers that they could choose from were a non-warp capable shuttle, a warp capable shuttle, a destroyed shuttle that had been fought over by the survivors, or nothing at all. And it was tied between warp capable and nothing at all.
Oh my gosh.
I really wanted the destroyed shuttle.
I thought that one would be pretty cinematic, so that's the one I was voting for, but I didn't get a
that
vote.
would be pretty cinematic. Yeah.
People were really excited to kill you.
They had
Very,
mercy.
very steadfast about it, and I was like, "Well, you could, or
My
you could
peers
not
had
do
mercy
that."
on you.
Yeah, and then the tie at the beginning was between scavengers and survivors. So if you'd been the survivors, it would have been you who destroyed the shuttle. So
Woo. Oh wow. Yeah.
right. So that's us. Thank you very much for playing. I hope you all had a good time.
Yeah.
And tune in, maybe next year we'll do something else.
Sweet. I am gonna
Sweet.
go.
Have a
Yes,
good night,
anyone.
Oh, sorry.
Gamebird wanted to say something. So what was it?
Lauren, I voted for the working shuttle. don't angrily message me later.
Sorry, Lauren,
tracking
I
you all
voted to bring you down.
I'm sure you did, Dragon Gamer.
I'm not making you guys angry. You all know how to find me.
And Lauren goes
Dragon.
back and
It's a
reads
good
the
thing your
chat.
companions
She's
die
gonna
early.
be like,
Yeah.
rocks fall, everybody
I
dies for the
accept
rest of
it.
our mansions.
No,
I'm
I'm
gonna go look at that chat.
do it.
It's you don't need to.
The chat, Lauren.
A lot of
I'm-
comments. There was
You'll
some
see
clap
more
if
than I
you
did.
believe to try and help you through difficult times.
Aw.
You believe.
I think it was if we believed in Zach.
Yeah, that was if I came back to life.
I just
quote
meant
unquote.
people generally.
Zach,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
Sean. That was just like, yep, I'm out.
What even
think-
happened? I missed that.
I think him and I both were like, all right, we understand what our role is.
Lauren, run.
Wait, theater dream.
Get the medic
Yep,
out.
exactly.
Funny guys
What
die
the
first.
heck?
It's like, oh, my leg's numb. Give me the epi. Let's go. It's time to run away.
Well, I'm not traumatized.
Question for you, David.
Mm-hmm.
Did shutting off the power actually do anything?
It made it really dark, and it made it so you had to open all the doors manually.
For real? That was it?
But it also made it so that it couldn't do any remote hacking of the stuff that you were messing with. So
good.
Say it's
I was gonna say it
Good
was an
seeing as we
informed
didn't have a
decision.
hacker.
Yeah,
What happened to Sean, by the way?
nothing good.
he went to the farm.
Oh no.
He
When I watched the
sacrificed
recording.
himself for it was like felt like it was like 30 minutes in, and he's like, you know what, this went poorly for all of us, and I'm just gonna see it through.
I think it was about
You
an
guys
hour and a
go.
half in because
Oh,
I
was
was
it really?
eating like dinner as when he died, and that was around 7:30.
I was eating
You
dinner
guys
when he
might be
died.
interested to know that at the beginning there was a vote. Do you want the danger to come from within or below or above? And
Or
we
behind.
chose above. And that's where the water came from.
Ah.
So you're welcome.
Yep, and the second one was below, which is where the pit came from.
But would within mean that one of us was infected?
That was the second time I asked the question, where does the danger come from? And they voted for within. And that's when
Yeah.
Ben started having a good time. So
Both of those danger choices almost directly got someone killed.
I have
Yep.
legitimately never rolled that well consistently.
oh my goodness.
That was
That wouldn't go down,
I was
man.
that
shocked.
was amazing.
Kept trying to get to where it's like, and then he turns on you. And like, nope.
Well, it's like, when I play these games, like I really want it to be cinematically interesting more than anything. And so that's what I stress about. Is like, well, I don't want to fail a roll where I feel like it would be way more interesting if I succeeded. And I never had to worry about it. People who have played these games with me before know that I don't roll very well usually.
No one does.
Only
I can
when
vouch
it's
for that,
someone
yeah.
else.
Tell
Yeah.
Anna, thank you for the dice.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I trust you, Ben.
Yeah, I would have turned my camera onto my dice, I swear. Like I was so ready to get called out about it and be like, I'll show you.
All
right.
right.
I'm
Well,
gonna
Lauren,
head downstairs and stop
Yep.
the recording.
Yeah, send me
Cool.
the recording. I've got the OBS video, and I'll
Oh.
take the audio from your recording and then do something
Sweet.
with the chat so that it's included as well. But we can.
I recorded like just a screen of showing the video with the chat.
Yeah, and so mine will be a little higher quality because it's at
Okay.
the source, but we can
Sweet.
go from there. The rest of you
All right.
all, good night. Thank you for coming.
Right, everybody.
That was fun.
Night.
I missed like most of it, but it was still fun.
I feel like I'm going to be hearing about the. Oh, never mind. She left.
Oh no. You will be hearing about it, I bet.
Smoke bomb.
I'm probably going to hear about it the next time I see you, Lauren.
Oh. And if she says something to you about it, hopefully she doesn't say anything to me. Well, actually,
You decided to be on her side. I decided that
also I missed
she was
most of the
going down.
votes. I had a theater thing.